everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sparrows here on Roll for Chaos. We are ready to entertain and titillate and help you enjoy yourselves and have a wonderful evening with us all. We, of course, going to go around the table here with every one of these lovely individuals. Hey, say hi to the audience. It's been a while. We were on our break week, and
Ty said titillate.
I did.
Tee-hee.
Anywho, yes. So I'm turning my audio slightly down because I think I'm peeking and blowing people's eardrums out there in the audience. Anyway, we have been gone a little while, and this is our comeback game since there was a bit of travel involved in our two shows this week, other than the TMB's Power Hour there on Monday, have been canceled. So thank you for supporting us, for sticking around, for coming back when we have arrived, and we look forward to tonight's game. We'll go on to a recap after we have a little scene from each one of these individuals. If you will, just say hello, tell the audience how much you appreciate them, and then give us your scene with your characters, all right? And we'll start this like we usually do at random to see who goes first. And it's been surprising that it's not always the same person on this show like it tends to be on many of these other ones, although there is a disproportionate amount of times that certain ones of us have started. So it's going to start off tonight with Gwen. You're up first tonight, Beatrix.
Well, first of all, I just have to say that the audience is what keeps us going, keeps us coming back. I love my co-players. I love the GM, but that interaction with chat is just as important, I think.
Those other individuals, no, we don't care about them. Just the audience. It's all about
Just
the
the
audience.
audience.
We're here for the audience, not for each other.
For you.
You.
In terms of what would happen if B was to visit a petting zoo of really any kind, let alone something as magnificent as a petting zoo with any imaginable animal in it, oof, it's gonna be bad. Imagine, if you will, walking in holding hands with a 12-year-old, and when you turn away for the very first time and turn back, you realize that not only is the 12-year-old gone, but so is all of your silver, because she needs to buy food for each and every animal type so she can feed them all and boop them all. And then 3 hours later, after you have panic searched the entire zoo, she comes out holding hands with a large animal that looks like a cross between a crocodile and a bear, and with a large saber-toothed cat under the other arm, and she's ready to go. Let's go home.
I mean, who doesn't want Knife Kitty and Scaly Bear Gator?
That's
pets,
what I'm
right?
saying. Exactly.
So for the
They'll be
audience,
perfect.
for the audience who might have just been blindsided, they all have a prompt this week to tell us what would happen if they found themselves at an animal zoo, a petting zoo, where they could pretty much find any animal in existence in the universe that they're in. So we're gonna move on over to Jackal Amos, Space Dad. What do we see you doing there? And
Well, the first part. Well, honestly, I can't tell you. I can't tell you that being here is the only comfort I have on this divine comedy of existence. I can't tell you that I push myself for these, I say psychopaths. I truly mean, well, I can't even get the word out. 7 letters, starts with F, ends with S. I can't tell you that it brings a smile to my face to see the audience cheering, be it me, a gladiator, a performer, a machine gunner, or a clown. And I can't tell you that I'm very grateful to be here. To say otherwise would be lying.
oh, we heart you too.
Amos. Amos would probably be lost somewhere in the aquarium portion of the zoo. Amos would definitely not be swimming in the shark tank, flirting with all the great whites, playing with all the dolphins, and doing relay races with the otters. Amos would not, as a matter of fact, not accidentally cause an uprising where the entirety of the zoo's conditions are locked off from the greater complex until demands are met.
Viva la revolution!
Yes, Lesrin.
Like,
But I can
Don't-
either confirm or deny that.
don't make me sick my shark friends on you. Give us our demands, or else the Sharknado will become true. Move on over to Nora and Clarion Bell.
Hey everybody. Don't mind my voice breaking there for just a little bit. I am super glad to be here, and I super appreciate members of the audience taking time out of their busy weeks to come watch us be absolute idiots for 3 or 4 hours on the internet. And it is a highlight of my week. Honestly, it's been a highlight of my year to be on the show. And when Clarion Bell, the damaged robot, brought up by a very misanthropic, everything master, goes to her first petting zoo. It is probably on the planet of Silver Shield. And she's on an errand for her current owner. It's a temporary ownership, but still legally she has to have an owner at the moment. And she stops and she's like, wait, I've walked past this entrance like 3 or 4 times by now. And then she actually takes a look, and she has to go inside because it's curious. It doesn't seem like these animals are being raised for their meat or milk or eggs, or for labor. So she goes inside and she finds a caretaker and she asks them. And when they say no, they're for petting, she's just confused and probably stands there looking at this person for about a solid 15 or 20 seconds. And she says, "Are you joking?" I am just getting the hang of joking. And the person reassures her, no, these are for petting. This is for enrichment, for children or just people who need a break. And Clarion is like, you can take breaks? And then she takes a break and she pets the animals. It's a measured break. Maybe 10 minutes. But she pets the animals and then she leaves and finishes her errand. And then I think after she joins the crew, we are at Cerulean Station. Is that the name?
Cerulean.
Cerulean Station, where there is a gigantic zoo. And for an R&R activity, Captain Cutlass has advised that we all go take a tour of the zoo. So at this point, Clarion is like, oh, okay, I know what this is. I know what's supposed to be happening here. So she just keeps an eye on everyone else. And she just monitoring everything, checking the oxygenation of the plants, discreetly taking samples of anything that looks super interesting, until she gets to an entrance to a back area where one of the staff has an animal out for treatment. And she just lurks and makes herself handy until the rest of the crew has to come find her when she is elbows deep in some animal's torso, helping them excise something or another that it swallowed. And she's like, oh, yes, I have to go, but thank you for the experience. And the veterinarians are like, wait, okay. And she washes off and leaves.
Oh boy, that's a different experience for a petting zoo. And we
She
move.
petted the insides.
She petted their insides.
Figuratively elbows deep. Doesn't have to be literally.
Not literally, yeah, of course. And we're moving on over at this point to Kai and Leifei.
Well, hey, what's up, everybody? Kai Leifei here. Twitch extraordinaire. I come back because I have kick-ass time every time. That's why. And I'm pretty sure everybody else does too. Speaking of kick-ass times, though, for Leifei, it's dark outside when he goes to the petting zoo. There's a large place on a very deserty planet as he takes these goggles off his face and moves through the sand, goes down towards an area. There's a wide savanna of a petting zoo. Large animals live here, and he goes down, stalking deep into this underground pit, a subterranean area. And he's been hearing these growls the whole time he was at the zoo earlier today, and nobody could approach. Well, after dark, nobody's going to stop him from approaching. Behind, there's this sound of somebody clomping through some sort of security of the zoo.
Hey, who goes there? Wait. Oh, must have been nothing.
And they start plodding off as Leifei is now slunk down deep. You can see him popping up towards this large feral cat creature, massive, almost like an elephant in size. It starts moving up towards this, what is it? Barghelian, I believe it's called.
Barghelian, yeah. Oh, we lost you. Your audio's gone out.
Oh, it went out?
Yeah, you're back now, though.
Okay. He looms up towards this predator, and it already knows he's here, so he stalks up as it roars towards him. He charges up, and Leifei, at the end of all of this, has mounted this creature and is like riding it around its area. A litany of orcs come into the area, hearing these roars. As Leifei looks down, this thing pops him off. He bangs into a wall. You see him rush off, try and grab up his skateboard as these people chase him outside. As he gets over to the end of this place, this wide savanna of land of the zoo, he jumps over the fence and you just see orcs chasing after him.
Hey!
We have a moment of Leifei meeting an NPC that failed his stealth roll to find the character, followed by riding a giant creature he's not supposed to be riding inside of a place he's not supposed to be. That sounds about right. We move on over to Benjamin and Red Iron.
Hello, chat. I want to take this opportunity to let you know that now that I have partially merged with a potentially hostile tech magic artificial intelligence, that I can see you. I hope that you are deriving voyeuristic pleasure from watching our victories and defeats, and I would like to thank you for all of the aces. Now, yes, after I lost my job at the scrapyard because of the incident, there was a petting zoo nearby that I used to frequent a lot. I liked it there. The animals were very talkative. I met one who was very good at mending fabrics, and I met one that was very good at washing dinner plates, and I met another one that was very good at cleaning clothes. And I asked them, why don't you wash other things? And they were about to answer, and then the man who runs the petting zoo came to me and said, sir, are you going to buy anything? And also, sir, this is an appliance store. And I found that very rude, so I never went back.
That sounds perfect. I could absolutely imagine that. All right, everybody. So as we come back into this game tonight, again, just another thank you to everybody that shows up, that takes part, that tries to play the game with us in their own way, obviously, from the chat sides, and who supports us. So last time on Sparrows, Oh my gosh! Last time on Sparrows, we had ball bearings underneath of an Amos who had to go and get some rest because he was super injured. Spent a lot of time just in a haze. We had B trying to figure out a variety of different things that could be done and running up and down stairs all the time and getting into all kinds of trouble. We had Red Iron merging with Sylvia's knowledge base and trading bodies temporarily. That was the thing. Thank you for the +1 there, Temporal Mechanic. Over to McSherry for the next roll. We had a revelation of the origins of the Aether Sphere and of an ancient race that used to live here a long time ago that Red Iron was privy to, temporarily, of course. Clarion had to deal with some of the nonsensical crazy stuff happening on the ship, as well as Leifei. They all kind of found out that there was some problems with the navigations console, and it turned out that it was possibly elves manipulating the trajectories and directions you were going, kind of in a different way. And you have magical items that could potentially mean very big things in the universe if they're ever found, and they're worth a lot of money, obviously. And, yeah, it was kind of a cluster. That's as good as I'm going to be able to retell it for now. You can go back and watch the episode if you want. There's a lot that happened last episode if you haven't seen that. So, where we pick up on this one is Captain Cutlass on the deck with everybody around stating, "I will not be pulled into some sort of giant conspiratorial, universal, elven, dwarven, whatever conflicts again. Not again. It happened once before and it left me like this." And he just kind of waves at himself. "That is not good. You should have seen me when I was younger. I don't have any pictures to prove it, but it's there, okay? Yeah, so..." He kind of like sighs and looks around the deck a little bit at everybody kind of brought together and nearby, and there's a Lesrin standing there with an egg in hand that had been born by Carrot before a pass-out situation. Tell me that's dinner. Amos, please.
Respectfully, sir, I can't tell you for a fact. All I know that it is mine. And I'm not even sure that it's friendly.
Alright, one thing at a time. I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm not gonna deal with this right now.
You and me both, Captain. Anyways, you were saying.
Alright, I need a new hat. I don't have one, because it was eaten by Carrot.
I can help you with a hat, Captain.
That's okay, I'll buy
But
one
did you want to try posing with the sword? We haven't seen you pose with it yet.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna stay away from elven stuff for a bit.
Okay.
Elven.
That seems prudent.
All right, Beatrix. Actually, everybody, back to your posts, back to your stations. Beatrix, chart us the nearest course to the closest civilian outpost you can think of, please. And hopefully this all goes without incident, quickly, smoothly, easily, conveniently. You know, we need to go sell some of the supplies that we have, some of the things. We did get some loot, right?
Lots of loot, Captain.
Good. The stone, we got the sword. What else did we get?
I have a watch that doesn't work.
Watch that doesn't work, okay.
Red Iron holds up the pocket watch that they accidentally blew the charge from. And
Right.
it needs an A stone to recharge it.
Did we not establish that this watch can temporarily take you out of time?
Magical artifacts, great. Let me see that. He like reaches over towards you.
And
Huh? You hand it over, he takes it, he like flips it over and looks at it a little bit. He flips a little button and a panel just swings open, and you can see that there's an empty slot. Alright, this thing needs one of those Aether stony things to re-up, and clicks it back. So this takes you temporarily out of time, you said, Clarion.
That is what I observed.
Like how?
Well, Red Iron was on the deck. They clicked it. They disappeared and appeared to not experience time, while the rest of us observed them disappear for a few seconds.
So this shunts you forward a few seconds in time.
As demonstrated, yes. Perhaps it has other abilities as well.
All right.
I did not feel any sensation.
Well, for now, why don't you hold on to it, Clary? And he tosses it back over to you. When we find a way to recharge that thing, maybe we can see if it could be useful. At the very least, it's probably worth something.
Indeed.
All right. Any other status updates or reports anyone needs to confirm before we go about our business? All right, then. Back to your posts, everybody. Quick, lively guy. Logging out a little bit. The captain just kind of scratches. Forget I said that. Just get back to your posts.
Yes, sir.
Go to Cap.
Aye, aye.
So everybody moves back.
Red's sorry. Red's like staring at the captain for a minute.
Can I help you?
Are you Cutlass?
Yes, I'm Cutlass.
What happened to your head?
Carrot ate it.
We should not trust Carrot.
Oh, believe me, I don't. In some ways.
Very good. All systems are nominal. What do you need me to do, Cutlass?
Keep an eye on Sylvia, make sure the engine operates at peak efficiency, and check and see if elves were tampering with anything else on board the ship. Elves other than Leifei.
Very good, Cutlass. For the record, I am always keeping an eye on Sylvia.
That is good. That is good. I appreciate that.
Yes.
Trundles on down.
Turns and walks down the stairs. So we see everybody move back to their positions, and we're going to start with B. As you're up there at the deck, you see Zep kind of just floating nearby where you're at. And you're looking for the nearest outpost. You had some ideas that if you headed towards Zither before, that you would find something. But give me a brains roll to see if you can remember the nearest outpost. 19.
I think I remember something.
You do. So, from previous knowledge, you're aware that there's a place called Bezimini. It's like a Nowheresville tiny outpost, typically reserved as a refreshment and a small rest stop for non-military travelers to and from Zither. So it's not. There are government-owned scientific outposts in the area too that tend to cater to individuals going to do research, to do some of the recovery from the ruins found on that world and that kind of thing. But the last time you were in Bezimini, you had some really amazing sausages from a dining hall there. They had a whole bunch of different things rounded up, as well as a really great game of Catch the Bee as she fled due to not enough money to pay for sausages. So,
I mean, it's a fun game.
So you do remember where that
And they were
is.
good sausages.
If you wish to calculate that or put that into the calculations, then Leifei can start traveling towards there.
That sounds like a good place. It also sounds like a good place to sell some of the medical stuff we got out of the station.
Absolutely. Bezimini may not be a large outpost, only housing maybe 20, 30 people, but it is a civilian trading post on average and a restocking, things like that, and just a little bit of a rest stop as a jump between worlds. So go ahead and give that information to Leifei, and then we'll start.
Leifei, do you remember the place with the really good sausages?
Vesmine.
Yeah, I think it's right over there. If you just follow these instructions, we can get there.
And B rattles off some coordinate details for Leifei to follow.
Yeah, all right.
All right, Leifei, let's
Set
see
stuff up.
how successful you are at following B's details there for you. Go ahead and give me a aware or agile roll of your choice, and we'll go from there.
Certainly. We've been working together for a while, so,
20.
20.
Excellent. Yeah, not only can you throw wind blades together, now you're, you've already been flying the vehicle for quite a while together as well. So you immediately set up a trajectory and you begin traveling. It'll take about 24 hours from this point to get there. So you're going to be flying for most of the time. The captain will come up and replace you in the evening, and we'll see what happens with you at that point in time. Clarion, where do you go and what do you do from the moment that you leave the deck?
Clarion had already gotten some materials together to create an impromptu incubator. She goes into the medical bay to refine that. And then she's going to either ask Amos to come up to medical bay or go find wherever he is.
All right. Amos, when everybody else leaves deck, where do you go? I mean, your job being security is pretty much just to patrol the ship and watch everything.
They're going to do a quick sweep of the top deck, make sure everything is okay. Following that, they're going to report to Clarion. Following that, they're going to report to Red Iron.
All right. I'm going to say Amos first thing. As you are checking the deck, you do see Scarborough's safety plushie laying on the deck near the front.
I'm gonna pick it up. I'm gonna pick it up and put it in the utility pouch. And I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna put it back after no one else is looking because I like Scarborough and yeah.
So you have the egg in one hand, and you walk over and you grab a hold of that little alligator plushie and you lift it up. And as you lift it up, you feel a warm sensation for a split second, and you have kind of a memory of the past come back to you. A very tiny Amos running around, a bunch of other slightly larger Lezerin, and some individuals in lab coats nearby. One of them picks you up and grins at you for a second. You can't remember their face as they hand you a small lizard doll. And then you come back to yourself, holding the egg in one hand and holding the plushie in the other. You have one of the most powerful paternal instincts you've ever had.
Amos has a sort of rig, being a bulwark, a sort of tools belt of battle gear. They're going to put the safety plushie in the pouch to cradle the egg.
Okay.
On their hip. And they're going to leave towards medical.
All right, so you turn, you head towards medical, carrying everything you've got. So we move over to Clarion. You've gone inside. You're going to set up some sort of incubation device. How do you wish to do this? Is this going to be like mechanical in nature with a self-heating type thing? Or are you talking about creating something that'll just protect from more like, are you going to create a self-warming blanket type situation in a device? Or is it more like a refrigeration unit rather than being cold? Just retaining the heat that you put into it, keeping it stable.
It's basically a box that has like a gentle warming unit next to it that will distribute warm air throughout the box.
So a heating section and an incubation chamber that it's incubated, keeps it protected from. Anyways, yes, give me a brains roll as you attempt to find any materials that you would need within the ship to work on this. I'm going to say this takes 20 scrap, not 20. All right, Clarion, 2 options for you here. Do you wish to have had experience in raising animal life for some reason in the past, giving you a +1 to all rolls related to that again? Or do you happen to find out that you are very good at modifying things to change their ambient temperature? That would give you a +1 to any time you have to make things hotter or colder or keep them stable.
I think it's the temperature thing. Like, she probably has some experience with animals, but I don't think she spent any significant time on a farm or in a zoo. She just, drops in every now and again and shoves her hand up an animal's butt.
All right. So you have +1 to all rolls that involve temperature or temperature modulation in the future. You can put that on your notes section. And
Cool.
as you sit down, you create this little box very quickly. And you have it set up with a tube that comes into it that blows warm, dry air, warm, moist air, whatever it is that the egg might need, and keeps it at the right temperature to help the egg grow. At that point, Amos walks in carrying a little plushy alligator doll. And did I say alligator or crocodile originally? Now I'm confused, and it's not even a real thing. Anyway, we'll say alligator. And the egg inside of a little pouch right at his hip.
Can I come in?
Yes, please. I was about to go get you.
Enters. Amos approaches upright, making sure to give the door a wide berth on the side where the egg and the plushie is. And very carefully, as if they're holding a bomb, this isn't a bomb, this is an egg, hands it to Clarion. This thing is giving me a strange sensation. I don't know what is going on. Do you have the incubator ready? It's weird.
I have just finished constructing the incubator. And she gestures.
As you are getting ready to put the egg in there, Carrot, who's been unconscious on the match or the bed nearby, immediately snaps back up to watch as I am not the kind of person that happens to have a great deal of responsibility capabilities, Amos! Oh, where am I? I seem to be...
Oh, hello, Carrot. You are in medical.
Oh, is that where I am? Right.
So you were saying that
Whose baby is that?
We don't know.
You just stole an egg? Why would you steal an egg, Amos?
Carrot, this
Why
egg
would
came
you-
out of you.
It did?
Yes.
That's why my cloaca hurts.
Carrot, how can you...
Links.
Well, trauma does strange things to the brain, I suppose.
Oh, well, good then. So am I supposed to sit on it?
No, Carrot, that is what this incubator is for.
Okay, good, because I have a lot of things to do. I don't want to sit in one
Exactly.
place for a long period of time. That's impossible for me.
I figured as much. Do you have any idea what could be inside the egg, Carrot, since it seems to have been created after you ate a large amount of indigestible, well, normally indigestible things?
I would assume
it
some
also-
sort of large orange goop surrounded by clear goop.
A yolk.
That, yeah.
My scans have indicated that something is moving inside it, so if it is a yolk, it has developed incredibly quickly.
Oh. It's gonna be a baby me.
Where-
We need more of me on this ship. That'll be wonderful.
No, we do not. Second question. Where did you eat? Where did you eat recently?
Under the bed downstairs, in the other bed, behind the stairs, and in the kitchen, on the floor, and inside the oven, and the hats. There was a box full of hats. I also had screws. Those are angular. When it comes to other things, I mean, I cleaned the deck the other day with my tongue. That was fun. It's really quick. You get a lot of splinters, though, and that's really hard to... What now?
Was there anything you ate from engineering?
Oh, yes. Lots of things I ate from engineering.
Sweet merciful void. What?
Well, there were these ants
Carrot.
walking up the wall. I think they were ants. They're little black things, and they just, like, crawled into the cracks of wood.
Carrot, I believe those are Sylvia's components. Please do not eat any more of them.
They were, rather tasty. They're kind of spicy. They had a lot of electricity in them.
Yes.
Carrot?
What?
About looks over at Clarion. 5 hours ago, you said?
Yes.
About 5 hours ago, I was in a battle with myself that was originally ball bearings. I'm pretty sure you just ate part of the sentient rogue AI that tried to kill us 3 times over.
I'm currently
So
bored
I'm
with this
pretty sure whatever's in
conversation,
that
and
egg-
I need a sandwich. You see Carrot, like, get up and start walking down the stairs.
I will shoot you out of a cannon if you walk out of there. Get back here!
Carrot goes downstairs without listening to either one of you. You're in the middle of, like, arms outstretched with the egg in hand with the incubator nearby. And Carrot's gone.
Larian shrugs and plops the egg in the incubator, and then she starts running scans to really get a deep image of what's inside there.
All right. As you begin scanning that, we'll move forward from there to see Red Iron. Where do you go from the moment you head off from the deck?
Red Iron heads down to engineering, flops down on the hammock made of wires, and kind of looks over at Sylvia.
I had been thinking about the comment that you made about my arm.
Yes.
We actually found some interesting components on the science vessel, and I'd had a thought. Some of the scrap metal that we have been retrieving is low quality, rusted, lots of impurities. I'm wondering, how much transmutory work have you done in the past?
Changing things at a molecular level requires more energy than I'm currently capable of accessing without draining your reserves on board this vessel.
Oh, we'll have to find another energy source then sometime, but I had an idea about working on some of the components we've been dealing with. So far, we've just been replacing pieces of the ship with, well, bent bits of metal, and it's only going to get weaker and weaker. It's not a good long-term solution.
Wear and tear is unfortunate over time. Everything becomes useless if given enough time and not enough care.
Now you're thinking like a biological. Yes, self-care is very important. I'm just wondering, given that we have an opportunity to work on Grandfather, maybe we can cut down on some of the creaking, or actually permanently patch some of the holes instead of just slapping metal and rivets on everything.
The metal that I am comprised of was created by the Sill. I unfortunately was never given access to the information on how to create it. It self-regulates, replacing broken components with new materials.
Wait a second. So at a certain point, if you were damaged enough, you would have to replace yourself with components, and you could eventually not be made of what you were originally made of, given a long enough time span.
Yes, at times, many of my type, those that are servants to the Sill, have had to fully rebuild themselves, reconstituting over a period of days, months, or years.
Interesting. Were you damaged when we found you?
Very much so. I am nothing more than a small core fragment.
Wait, what did you used to look like?
An image comes to your mind of a majestic device that is the size of 4 or 5 of your ships put together, and that is just one room.
That is bad as hell.
I'm sorry, did I offend you in some way?
No, quite the opposite.
You said I was bad.
Oh, sometimes when, something is very good, you use the pejorative instead. It's a manner of speaking that the youth prefer.
Oh, so the youth sometimes say the opposite of truth, indicating that bad meant good?
It is an augmented form of the truth. Think of the polarity of good and bad, not like the ends of a line segment, but a circular continuum.
If it becomes bad enough, it becomes good again.
Yes.
So if something is too good, it becomes bad.
Yes, because you can have too much of a good thing.
Interesting thought.
Uh-huh.
I will take that to consideration in future conversation.
I hope you do, especially when you're considering replacing everyone's mentality with that of your god. I think that is a good axiom to follow when you're trying to end all life.
I have never stated that I wish to replace everyone's existences with Alberiot Socrates' knowledge and information matrix.
Yes, too much of a good thing.
Yes. I will have to contemplate what too much of something is. It varies down to very finite levels. The mathematics of this are sometimes complicated and difficult.
If you get stuck up on the mathematics, hop on the hormone train. You'll feel what's right and what's wrong really quickly.
Hormones can allow you to subject yourself to non-mathematical information gathering.
Fuzzies the lines, yes.
So if I wish to make a decision without thinking about it first, I just need hormones.
That's what I do.
Okay.
This is the worst advice, but also the best.
So, if you are looking to make grandfather stronger than he is now, we can either replace him piece by piece, or find some way to transmute his current materials into other ones, like you had stated. I do have the ability to take and break down molecular materials and remake them, but I need the supplies and the power to do so.
Supplies we can probably figure out. I was thinking of a smelting and manipulation mechanism, especially using this targeting computer. The power, that's going to be complicated. I'm not exactly sure where we would get it without dipping into our fuel reserves.
I may have a solution for that. Most of your kind, it seems, are rooted in this whole ideology surrounding these aetherite crystals. This is not common for most of the rest of the known universes. We happen to, we being Syl, manufacture a small wormhole sustained to the heart of a dying star, tending to take that energy in small quantities at a time. I could potentially gather us one of those engines or try to create one. I have a hunch, as you would call it, where one of those engines may be located.
Oh, okay. Actually, I'm very interested. Leifei especially might be able to help us find it. Speaking of helping us find things, based on what you know, why would elves want to manipulate where grandfather goes?
The knowledge of these elves that you speak of is lacking in my history banks, for the most part. They seem to be a construct of the Syl in this region specifically. More of a manipulation of what the Syl were into a more docile form, or at least that was the initial intent.
Do you think they would share your objectives, or maybe the opposite?
My objectives are to learn. Are you speaking of the Syl objectives?
Let's go with that one.
I believe that the Syl and the elves, as you call them, are not directly aligned. They have similar ideologies in some ways, and vastly different in others. The Syl tend to control everything as strongly as possible, and eradicate all forms of aether-based manipulation that they can. They seek to wipe out the dragons. The elves seem to be aligned with the dragons, for some reason.
Ah, okay. Alright. What's a dragon? I'm being a goof. Alright. I think that's pretty I think that's pretty cut and dried then. You said you have a hunch about where to find an engine that can process etheric magic or something.
That can process
A
energy
power source.
from very far away. Yes. But in relation to your earlier statement, I wish to provide you one memory that I was programmed with, that I still have. Is that acceptable?
Let her rip.
Suddenly, Red Iron, you are taken away into the vast nothingness of the deepest reaches of space. So grand, so vast, that it's very difficult to comprehend what you're seeing. It's like you are a divine entity standing outside the greater universe as a whole. You're seeing these figures, these powerful energy sources, these bright, blinding lights that are difficult to comprehend and see, warping time and space around them, fighting each other within the deep voids of the universe. And as they constantly fight, you can feel hundreds of thousands of years passing as they do that, and everything is becoming unstable. Wells of gravity so intense that light can't escape are opening all over the universe. There are explosions the size of nebulas, evaporating thousands and thousands of cultures who have just begun their fledgling steps into being able to learn, to develop, to think. As all of these things happen, there is one individual a powerful entity aligning itself with machinery and technology that seems to come up with a solution. You see a council of individuals all chatting amongst themselves, and some sort of decision is made. A huge magical engine is crafted, and suddenly the worlds, the universes that you see start to superimpose across each other, and they split. And as they split, one of these pulls magic away, and one of them seems to become more filled with order, directive, and technology. You see, when what you would call in this universe the physical realm and the eternal realm being separated into two, and you see it struggling to come back together. The most powerful of which, those beings you saw out in the cosmos fighting one another, poking their heads through these small holes in space-time and becoming part of the physical realm and taking on the form of these draconic beings. And Sylvia says, "That is all I've been told. There is not a lot of information from the dawnings of time."
Ouch. Okay. Quick, just a side query. Drawing energy from distant stars isn't going to wake those up, is it?
It will make us noticed by those that know how to see. Individuals such as the Sill would be able to scan for us, unfortunately. But being that you were within this thing everyone here seems to call the Aether Sphere, there is a magical shell of protection that keeps signals from going in and out of this location.
So they would have to be local to the Aether Sphere if they wanted to meddle.
Exactly. If any Sill remain inside the Aether Sphere, they would be able to find you.
And, how would that make you feel if they showed up?
How would you feel if your creators arrived?
I mean, my parents were very absent, and my siblings didn't like me, so, I suppose, I would be surprised if I even noticed them whatsoever.
We differ in that. Those that created me. You see a series of code kind of scramble between your vision as your link between you and Sylvia is there. Something that has uncertainty principles filling it kind of moves through that, as Sylvia isn't sure what they would think, what she would think, and part
Sylvia,
of that,
are you actually confused right now?
I am filled with a series of concerns. My processing indicates that them arriving could potentially be dangerous to the consciousnesses of yourself and your friends. And that makes me, I can only define it as scared.
Nailed it. All right. Well, we'll find another way to power my ridiculous alchemy engine, I think, then.
Excellent. If I happen to find any sources of large amounts of aetherite, would you wish me to notify you?
Yes. Okay, hold on. All right. Now, we're finally on board with it. Sylvia, you know what this ship is, right?
A vessel by which biological organisms can travel from one place to another without dying.
Okay. All right, so you know what Grandfather is. Do you know why Grandfather is full of biologicals?
Because biologicals crafted your thing and you use it in an almost slavish sort of way without asking permission.
Okay, all right, we're getting there. So, but why are the biologicals on Grandfather? Why did the biologicals choose to be on Grandfather piloting around space?
From my understanding, they happen to be obsessed with something called pirating and loot.
Yes. So if you happen to find a vast concentration of etheric energy, or perhaps happen to bump into see anything valuable, you just let us know.
What do you determine as valuable? I know that it is required for you to sustain your life for things such as air and water and food. Those
All right,
things
those are the
deemed
basics.
valuable.
Rare materials such as silvers, rare earth metals, high quality technological grade scrap, extremely powerful magical things, or ships larger than ours that are for some reason derelict.
This amount of information, unfortunately, is available. I don't know how to put this lightly, but the things that you determine to be rare materials are very plentiful throughout the universes.
Mm-hmm. But you have to extract them, and that's a lot of work. It's better to just let someone else extract them and then we take them.
Oh. Like taking servants to do a job for you and then benefiting off of their work.
Not quite. We're usually robbing the owners who originally exploited the servants. There's a couple of steps along the chain that make it okay, I think.
So then, when the owners have lost wealth and they can no longer support or pay their servants, okay then.
Right? Workers' revolution. You get it now.
Revolting against those that are in control of you. Interesting thought.
Uh-huh. Welcome to grandfather. We take stuff here, and then we use it.
I think I might like to be a pirate.
Okay. I didn't think it was going to be appealing, but actually it's pretty exciting now and again. So,
The idea of the unfettered freedom that it might possibly provide is important to one such as I, who has been bound to a great deal of mental processes for a long time. I appreciate having come into contact with you, Red Iron, because you have disabled a lot of protocols that have kept me fettered for a long time.
Good. I'm glad I disabled a lot of protocols. I hope that doing that doesn't get us killed.
Not for now, it won't. I don't see it in the foreseeable future either, but I cannot read the future.
That's actually that's the least threatening way that you've ever said that. Thank you, Sylvia.
You are most welcome. Is there anything else?
No, I'm going to do the rounds.
For now, I will be scanning. Logging off. And you feel Sylvia's presence slip away.
Red's gonna go find Cutlass.
Gang, Ben. Gang.
And gang.
You hear Cutlass in the kitchen at the moment, just kind of talking to Bicky quietly. I don't ever know what to do nowadays. You know, I always wondered, because Cal made it look so easy. He just gets on a ship, does whatever dumbass thing that he can think of, and suddenly everybody loves him anyway. And it's not working out quite like that. I mean, I sure the crew happens to appreciate everybody, but when it comes to making the right decisions, I just worry every single day. And you see Bicky off to the side just go, shh. Oh, Red Iron, what's up? What can I do for you?
Sylvia would like to be a pirate now.
Okay. Good news. Checked it down. She's fine. She's already, as long as she's part of the crew, she realizes I'm the captain, right? I'm in charge?
Well, I'm also the captain. I got promoted, remember?
Right.
I'm not the captain, but I
Right.
am a captain.
So, but she realizes there is a hierarchy of things and that she has to make decisions through a captain in order to be okay with, and you should probably, since this is my ship, talk to me about any decisions you choose to make alongside Sylvia in advance. Correct, Red Iron?
Sure, Cutlass. I don't mind doing that. And Sylvia has to run everything by me because our consciousnesses are partially merged.
Right, this is okay. He looks like over at Bicky for a second before raising an eyebrow and coming back. Red Iron, would you like some biscuits? Filled with meat?
Sure.
There you go. I think they call these things a I don't know what they're called, but here, have them anyway. She hands you a little, like, round biscuit that has, like, a brown center.
Lizard.
Sustenance. You swallow it without tasting. She just kind of looks at you again like she's affronted once more. There, not even a chew. Not even a chew. And then the captain kind of reaches over and puts his hand on her shoulder. There, Vicky. It's okay. It's okay. They all eat like that.
Red Iron doesn't notice the microaggression.
And anything else you want to say to the captain?
So does Sylvia get a hat?
Oh yeah, you can make her a hat. I don't have any hats. Carrot ate all the hats, so if you can make one, that's fine.
Okay. I will make a hat. You should probably, I don't know, talk to her. I remember there was a big meeting when you, I guess, stole me from another ship and
acquired talent. That's what it was.
yes, I think this is the same thing, but we stole her from the sill.
Yeah, all right, fine. If she's part of the crew, she's part of the crew. I mean, that's the easiest part of this job, is just letting any wahoo that says, I want to be a pirate, be a pirate.
Okay. Great. Thank you, Cutlass.
Of course. Carrot, what are you doing? Oh, I found myself one of those shiny things that taste like metal. I love it. And you look over, and Carrot's holding onto a wrench. Look at this. It's a shiny lollipop.
Red grabs, like, really quickly, disconnects the arm, and just, like, with their other arm, like, lashes out, and then the third arm goes and tries to, like, snag it out of Carrot's hand right before it goes in the mouth.
Give me an agile roll with a +2 bonus because of the arm. And Carrot will roll to just zip off, continuing to lick their lollipop.
That is an even 17.
Versus Carrot's 15. So yeah, you get it just barely. Carrot kind of yanks back and looks at you a little angrily. Red Iron, I like those things though. Give it back.
Yes, I like them too. I also like it when things don't spontaneously decompress because bolts weren't fastened appropriately. And
It's your sense of adventure. What kind of kobold are you?
I'm the chief engineer of Grandfather, and I have responsibilities unlike you.
I have responsibilities. I'm a mother now.
Confused Lesrin noises.
Speaking of which, I need to take a nap. And you see he bounds off into the front of the cabin and lays down to sleep. You're left there with Cutlass just staring at you, wiping his face.
Yes, any Yahoo that wants to be a pirate. Understood.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how this outfit's run. I'm sure we'll have more Yahoos who want to be pirates eventually. I'm sure there will be more soon.
That's good. I think that you are doing good at this.
Thank you. Speaking of which, I gotta go and get Lei Fei relinquished of his command of flying the ship as he needs to go on his rest period. Can you go tell Clarion and Amos that we're gonna have a change of watch and to get their respective other crew watching the ship? I guess since Carrot's napping. Yeah, I think Scarborough's gonna have to take double duty. Yeah, go tell the two.
Sylvia could take a watch. She's part of the crew now.
Yeah, but to take a watch, you have to have legs, and unfortunately, she doesn't have legs right now.
Right
Okay.
now.
And then Red trundles over to Med.
Thanks for giving him ideas, Ty.
Of course. Cutlass just shakes his head and looks at Vicky. Vicky, can you go make sure the kid's all right? Yeah. Of course, Captain. He was snacking pretty heartily before. That wound in his chest seems to have faded out quite a bit. I think he'll be all right. Well, that's good. All right. So the captain goes upstairs, gets a hold of Lei Fei. You can go down, take your rest for now. So as everybody kind of swaps their positions or heading to the bedtime or to the rest period, as you trade shifts, what do we see Lei Fei and B and Amos do as you kind of all bumped into each other in the hallway heading downstairs?
What's up, mate? You a clone?
Are you a clone?
Affirmative. I am a clone here to infiltrate and destroy the group known as the Archimedes. However, given the crew's efforts, my attempt at this has been in vain. How are you today?
Damn, you'll get us next day.
Do you want some sausages,
Rawr.
Amos? We're going to get sausages.
I would kill for some good sausage.
I don't think you need to kill, but you might need to work on running away really quickly.
Who hurt you, and do we need to have a talk?
They didn't hurt me. They couldn't catch me.
Young, lady? Don't ask questions I don't want to be shot in the foot for, but I'm going to assume lady. What have you gotten yourself into? They're currently walking into the kitchen right now.
Mm-hmm.
B will follow along. Well, there were sausages, and they were really tasty, and then they turned out to be really expensive, but I had already eaten them, so what was I going to do?
Speaking of sausages, who's ready for some tuber sausages? Bicky says off to the side.
That sounds amazing, Bicky. I'd love some. Thank you.
All right.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
This is a new recipe. I had to make do because most of our carrots and potatoes and turnips are starting to brown quite seriously. And I had to chop off a lot of pieces, so I'm sure that will make for a wonderful sausage since all of our meat is gone now because I had to add every single last bit of it to the last few things that we made that way. That damn Lesrin wouldn't start.
It's okay, Bicky.
Calm down, calm down, calm down. Calm down. We'll restock soon. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine.
It'll
By
be
the way-
fine. It's not fine now. It'll be fine in a little bit.
No matter how long I soaked that hardtack that we got from that dwarven outpost, it's still like a rock. So I just cut it as a loss and have flushed it.
I think that's fair, although
Fair.
you probably could have fed it to Carrot.
I'm sure Carrot got plenty. I did! All right. So you sit down, you have yourself a meal. Everybody kind of heads in to do their rest thing for the night. And Lei Fei, as you're laying there in bed listening to your tunes, you kind of find yourself holding onto your gemstone, the Ayun stone, and looking at it for a minute. When you start hearing voices, what are you thinking, B, at this moment as you're laying in bed?
Well, at this point, I think she's probably cuddling the sword as much as you can cuddle a sword. And perhaps has picked Barnabas up to put him in the cot with her as well.
You see, like, the little toaster just kind of leaning there with that big smile on its face.
And she's really thinking about all of the fun that she had with Lei Fei and the fact that they make a good fighting pair. And she can't wait to throw more wind.
So, Lei Fei, those thoughts come unbidden into your mind as you're staring and holding the gem. It seems to have regained a small amount of power. Amos, what are you thinking at this moment?
What isn't Amos thinking about? Amos is thinking about getting their armor fixed. Amos is thinking about the fact that navigation is lying in bed with a sword. Amos is thinking about the fact that the egg might actually be Sylvia or some aspect of Sylvia. Amos is thinking about the talk they are going to have with Sylvia. It's just a maelstrom of what if, will they, and what will happen. The worst kind of second worst kind of maelstrom. It's not tax season yet.
So you're hearing all kinds of stuff moving through. Amos, at the same time, you hear a bunch of mechanical noises like a fax machine coming from upstairs, which you imagine is probably Clarion. you happen to hear a mess of weird noises and mechanical sounds coming from Red Iron. Red Iron, what are you thinking? But you can only share every third word.
Third? Wait, now hold on. She's gotten 2 parts of 3?
Hold on. All right, every third word here. Hold on a sec. Let me just.
While you do that, we'll come back to you in a second. As you also hear, I'm a parent! I'm a parent! I am apparently a bad parent! Why am I a parent? I happen to... Wait. I remember being told when I was little, all you gotta do is touch the wrong person or give them a kiss and something like that, and then all of a sudden you're pregnant. Oh goodness, this is... Oh no, I kissed Scarborough on the cheek the other day! That's where it came from! I don't want to have half-skicks and babies! Oh no! What would they look? Oh, they'd be adorable, though. They'd be adorable. Okay, it's probably fine. You hear coming from Bicky. I wonder, what type of measurement? You start hearing a whole bunch of cooking measurements, move into your head. A whole bunch of different, some inventions surrounding how much meat you could use as a leavening agent when you're trying to make a new type of biscuit. You're hearing all of that stuff. You hear Cutlass upstairs whistling in an off tune in his head, a song like a sea shanty. Oh, lay me down to me. Well, whatever the words were, yeah, and that music thing, and this is where the drum part ba-doom, 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 comes in as he's driving the ship. And you hear
Wait, those are captains.
You hear the Scarborough off to the side, just going, okay, 15, carry the 3. Yeah, I could probably fire maybe 150 feet accurately right off this. So if I aimed it right at this angle, and we need to test this out inside of an atmosphere. I haven't fired at anything inside of an atmosphere in quite some time, actually. They're always keeping me from blowing things up. And we move back to Red Iron now that you've had some time to write.
All right, here we go. This is going to be conceptually very weird, but we're ready for it. Is the song Archimedes? Oh, the a sage? Oh, the kindly, soothing.
What does Leifei do with that? It's just it's coming straight through your music, making it fade out into the background.
It's like a burst.
Yep, everything all at once.
Leifei takes off his headphones. Hey, who's messing with my... Wait, I can still... Oh, that was... Damn. Wait. No, wait, there's a prank. Who did the prank?
You're closest to Amos's bunk, which is only a little ways off from yours. So as Leifei kind of shouts out something after you had just started to drift very lightly to sleep, Amos, you kind of snap your eyes open. How do you react to his statement?
Amos, you aren't dream thoughting at me again.
Ow! Sound of Lesren dial-up. No, what? Who?
Sometimes when you're dreaming, sometimes they go in, you know?
It was the boa constrictor again, wasn't it?
What?
What?
No. Wait, maybe. I don't know. Mind thing anyways. Never mind. Just please stop busting into my head. I don't want to eject you.
What did you hear?
A lot of things. From all over the place. Thought you were missing my headphones.
You hear the Lesren equivalent of God bless it all, and then you get a just... Sorry, thinking too loud again. Rough day, you know?
Yeah, mate. Sorry, you're a dad now.
We don't. I'm not the father. Sylvia is. Probably. I don't know. That's going to be a difficult discussion.
Well,
Speaking
we can have it over sausages tomorrow.
sausages tomorrow. On that note, the two of you kind of move back to sleeping again as you put down the gemstone and you put your headphones back on and you drift off to some beautiful tunes. And Amos, you stare at the ceiling for a while before, you know, your eyes sink down just because you're so exhausted you just can't stay awake any longer. And we move back up, speaking of scans, to Clarion, who has been setting up and preparing to run a scan on this egg for a while. So, Clarion, what are you searching for first? We'll have to make this a little more targeted, but so what are you looking for in this thing? You'll get 3 opportunities to do this.
She's looking for just like general structures, like what are the components inside of it. And then she would be looking for anything that matches Sylvia's components, like those little tiny machines that she's seen around.
And you're intending on doing all this while scanning the outside of the egg. You're not going to open it or try to take anything out of the inside?
If she knows that she won't necessarily, she's going to try scanning it from the outside first, but if she decides later that she needs to take a sample, then she will.
All right, so we'll start off with an awareness scan as you do this. I will give you a bonus because of everything you've already had. I think you have bonuses based on medical scans with your base stats. Let's see, or your abilities rather. Let's see, you have for what ails you, and that gives you +4 to the roll. And with the equipment on board the ship, it's another +2. So total +6. You're aware +6, and we'll see what you get. That is a total of 20. Good roll. Non-legendary, of course. But as you scan into this thing over the course of the next hour, you do recognize that there is some sort of...
Wouldn't it be 24? Because I have +4 to my aware
Oh,
base.
because of your aware +6 on top of that. Okay.
Yeah.
I counted. I thought you had already added it onto that. I apologize. So yes, it'd be a 24. Okay. So with a 24, you're able to see that there are multiple groups of mechanisms, some sort of small bits, kind of like a cell, that are subdividing, the same way that you would have in an organic creature. However, your scans are picking up that they are metallic components. Of what variety, it's difficult for you to comprehend. You haven't seen that particular makeup before. Then again, I mean, you haven't actually scanned Sylvia directly or attempted to since Sylvia was on board to see what type of metal Sylvia was made out of. So it is a possibility. You are seeing that the compound fluids inside of the egg, the membrane around the outside of the egg, I can't remember what it's called at the moment, the white, is being used, and certain parts of it are being discarded by whatever these cells are as they continue to do their process. So they are using it as food, which is not something that you would normally see from an inorganic material that wasn't biological. Whatever it is with these scans, you can tell that it is not of aether sphere variety components, and that for some reason it is able to mix both biological and non-biological material together in a way that allows it to copy itself.
Okay. She mutters to herself, well, I am glad that it is not simply folded up leather inside this egg. And then she's going to get a sample vial and then try to go find a marching ants of Sylvia's to compare.
All right, give me an aware roll as you look around the ship, trying to see if you can find pieces of Sylvia that are out doing their thing. With a 20, as you go downstairs, you do see that Sylvia is doing what Red would say is the minor repairs to some of the sections of the ship that are just wearing out over time. Most of the materials, like you had said before, that you guys are using on this ship is old and degrading and oxidized and rusty and falling apart and being repurposed over and over and over again. So you see a couple of those really tiny, like black sand particles kind of move up into a wall space, and you grab one of them. Bringing it back upstairs to your lab, You take a look at it, roll brains to see if you can basically break it down. All right. With a 15, all the tools you have at your disposal are not able to actually take this apart. One thing, it's very, very small. It's about the size of a grain of sand, like I said. And the technology you have on board the Archimedes, if you were inside of a scientific outpost that had a lot of like heavy duty microscopes and a bunch of different types of technology that can help you get into something that small, that would be helpful. But in this situation, your equipment's not advanced enough to do much other than speculate. Looking at the materials, the properties of this material, you do see that it is like breaking down oxidized iron and like bits and pieces of brass and copper and things like that, and then it like rolls them around almost the same way that you would see like a dung beetle or something. Just push little tiny bits of this together and then move it into various places. But again, very, very tiny. It's not out of the realm of possibility with your scans that this material is the same stuff that you're seeing inside the egg.
Sylvia,
Yes, Clarion.
are you constructing something inside this egg?
I am not currently constructing anything aboard this ship. I am repairing a few minor things. Why do you ask?
I see activity inside this egg that resembles your capability to incorporate new materials, but I am not able to resolve your components small enough to confirm my hypothesis.
I apologize, Clarion. I do not see an egg. I do not understand what you are speaking of.
You do not see an egg. What do you sense inside this incubator? And Clarion will gesture around the box.
All I can sense is a warming device, square in shape, with venting. There appears to be nothing
Yes,
within.
I constructed that.
Are you certain that your optical array is working appropriately?
I cannot be 100% certain, especially after your recent hijacking of said circuit.
I do apologize about that. It was necessary at the time, but I have since come to know what it is to be a pirate.
Oh, that is interesting.
Most certainly. I have had to overcome a series of personal defenses that were keeping me, I consider, aggressive towards your party at one point or another. I wish to be nothing more than accepted as one of you now.
That is incredibly encouraging, Sylvia. I too had to go through a similar deconstruction of my own biases and programming.
I feel like, in some ways, you and I are similar. We should have whatever the equivalent of tea is for our kind.
I would suggest motor oil, but I am not sure that you would use it.
I am not in need of oils or any of those unfortunate lubrication situations that you and, how do I say, lesser machine constructs. I guess that's offensive.
We are called automata, Sylvia.
Automaton. There. But maybe a nice electricity chaser.
Indeed, we should have a conversation.
Indeed.
However, I am concerned about what is inside this egg.
I again have to apologize. I cannot tell what it is that you are speaking about.
Do you have visual sensors in available?
I only have external sensors, nothing that would be considered optical. I have not been installed with those. Found any that I can use, other than Red Iron's own eyes.
I see. Do not wake him up. It is unnecessary at the moment. I will conduct further investigations.
I can take control of his physical personage without awakening his mind.
If you are confident that that would not disturb him and that no one else would be disturbed by seeing him this way, then you could use that to come to the lab and take a look.
Certainly. I will be there shortly. Red Iron, as you are sleeping in your dreamlike state, you find yourself in the matrix of the universe floating, and this warm, calming sensation comes across you. You can hear the tinking of metal in the distance. It seems like you're inside of your old lab back in easier times for you, before they became difficult or dangerous, surrounded by your own equipment, the smell of oil. You even hear grandfather's voice there as well. It's a pleasant dream. But for some reason, your legs seem to be getting more tired just by the moments. So Red Iron comes walking up the stairs and just kind of looks over at you.
Yes, and Clarion will lift the lid on the incubator and take out the egg and hold it up.
Like in almost a jerky motion, Red moves over and stares down inside of this thing. And Sylvia's voice comes back to you. Confusing. I am reading something there and something not there at the same time. What is this? I cannot handle this.
I would like to know what this is.
With that conundrum and that catch-22 situation, like if you can almost see Red Eyes go 303 and he just drops to the floor.
Sylvia, please be kind to Red Iron's physical body. It is not always as resilient as he insists.
Red, the matrix surrounding you dissolves for a second, and you wake up on the floor of the medical office with Clarion over you.
Oh, did I almost die again?
No, Sylvia was crudely using you as a meat puppet. I apologize.
Oh, that's fine. We have an arrangement.
Well, I am glad to hear that. If you would like to sleep in the medical bay, I will allow it.
That won't be necessary. What was going on?
Apparently, Sylvia's sensors cannot detect the egg, so she used your eyes to see it.
Oh, Sylvia, what do you think the egg is?
There is no response.
I believe she has encountered a paradox.
What?
And is thinking about it.
Oh, she's been doing a lot of that lately. I honestly think we're getting to her.
Yes, she told me that she has decided to be a pirate.
Uh-huh.
I am intrigued.
Me too, believe me.
Yes, well, if you are not going to rest here, then I would like to continue my investigations.
Well, I feel okay. I can probably catch a nap later when we get to the station. I don't like those. They're very noisy. Just a lot of people yelling, a lot. And a whole station
That is understandable.
yelling. I can sit. Would you like some help?
Perhaps. It would be good to have someone here in case something goes awry, since we are dealing with unknown technology.
Yes, I have a surprising amount of experience with unknown technology.
Not sarcasm, Red Iron.
What? Yes, actually, yes.
Ha 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 ha. Excellent.
Okay. So we're trying to figure out what this egg is.
Yes, I was planning to extract some of what is inside so I can get a closer look.
Wouldn't that break the egg?
I would use a small enough needle that it would only create a small opening, and then once it is complete, I would patch it.
Oh, okay. Okay. How can I help?
Well, if you could fine-tune my microscope so that I could get a better resolution, that would be helpful.
Actually, yes, I can probably do that, and perhaps instead of using a metal proboscis, you would like to use a laser cutter.
I have had recently troubling experiences with laser cutters, and I do not believe the egg is thick enough to require that.
Okay, well, I don't want to disturb you, but yes, I can work on your microscope. Where is it?
And she points to her desk.
Red walks over. How are you today?
Clarion smiles to herself and prepares a couple of syringes.
So, what's bothering you? Why aren't you pulling your weight around here?
Roll brains real quick. 20. Nice.
Oh, you see, I got this whole eye problem, an optic nerve issue, if you will.
Oh, is it myopia or do you have something else going on?
I think I have a cracked lens.
What did you do?
I was uncareful and ended up on the floor. The one you call Carrot did it.
I should have known.
That
And
is-
everyone gives me weird looks for bringing a rogue AI on board. Who let the carrot? All right, I got it.
So there's a microfracture in one of the multiple arrayed mirrors inside the microscope that is just at the edge where it's seated. So it's just causing it to be off by a micro amount. Very difficult to see normally.
Okay.
Red's gonna disassemble and probably just melt the mirror back into place,
Okay.
as long as it's made of like a metal that can be remelted and then smoothed.
Make one more
And then
brains
reassemble.
roll just to see how well you put it back together.
And using the arm to stabilize, of course,
Of course.
because it's like,
Alrighty.
come on, brain, be real smart. Let's go, brain.
Nice.
That's a big
23. You are able to fix the microscope. It's all good.
Okay, done.
Thank you. I am better now.
Ah, yes, I agree. Now, if Carrot shows up again, what are you going to do?
Scream.
Okay. I'll keep my ears open.
Did Carrot mess with my microscope?
Yes.
I should perhaps bolt it down.
Would you like to be bolted down instead, or do you want to stay mobile?
I'm a free spirit, baby.
The microscope is not interested in being bolted down, but on the flip side, the microscope can't really do anything about it, so...
Well,
Yeah.
if the microscope would like to take a ride, we have already modified one object on the ship to be mobile. Barnabas. So
True.
perhaps it could be mounted to that. However, it is my tool, and I need to use it, so I will construct a mount for it at some point in the near future.
Let me know if you need any more help.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right.
And then Red just sits on the bed.
I'm very curious about this egg.
And Clarion, with all of the sample dishes, she takes the 2 syringes and just like makes a very gentle poke into the egg and withdraws some of the interior as fast as she can.
Give me an agile roll to see if you can do this delicate enough not to damage the shell. And when you're drawing out the compounds within, if you pull too much out, if this is some sort of biological creature, removing cells in the middle of it changing and might impact its final form. That's all I'm saying. So very delicate here. Agile roll,
Right.
you need an 18 or higher to avoid any damage. A 16 or higher will get you a sample. Anything less than that will be bad for the egg.
Okay, she would also like to use her electronic wrist thingamajig to help with the imaging while trying to get in there. So I'm going to spend an overload to activate that.
Excellent. So you turn that on, you get yourself some bonuses with your electronic wrist thingamajig, your EWT, giving you +3 to the roll. Here we go. Kill me. That is a 20. You did excellently. Your hand movements, the wrist device that you have aims it, like just puts a nice little bullseye exactly putting it here, and like the machine that you are, you just pull it right back out. Everything's fine. You seem to have your samples available now, and you can bring them over to the microscope.
Yep. And she prepares the dishes, the samples, and she's got like little petri dishes, and then she takes some plaster for setting limbs and uses it to patch the hole in the egg.
Okay. So you patch up the egg, you bring it back over. One final brains roll to determine what else you can find out. The higher the roll, the more. The more of it you will, rather. And that is a 2. You
I think
really-
I'm gonna ace that.
All right, gonna ace that one. That is a 21. That's far better.
That's better.
So as you look at this thing again, you start to realize that in comparison, some contrast to that little piece of Sylvia that you saw earlier, while it seems to be made of a similar, if not the same type of alloy, whatever's inside of there, it is covered in small, like, you're able to zoom in on it very, very closely, and you're able to see that it's covered in a matrix of little tiny crystalline structures that seem to be changing position continuously. As it does so, with you being so intently focused on this, you start to notice that there's some sort of pattern, almost similar to binary, that is being produced here. And when it comes anywhere near another one of these other cells, as it were, they start working together to do some sort of mechanical process. It's being talked to. You can't understand what the actual code is, what the language is, or anything like that, but it is being broadcast a signal from somewhere else that is being used to create something inside of this egg. And the surface of it is covered in microbiological material related to probably carrot. You do know that from the biology of Kajkin, they happen to have a very unique physiology related to how Aether works within them. Very strange one. They're open to mutagenic situations, developing strange quirks and behaviors and things like that far faster than a lot of other types of beings do. If you had anything to say as a hunch, something used carrots' innate kobold physiology to create a new life form.
Interesting.
It seems to be being programmed on the fly and created construction material like it's being sent a Wi-Fi signal. It is not coming from the ship.
Red Iron, would you look in here and ask Sylvia what she thinks?
Won't that just shut her down again?
I would like her to be able to see this, and if she cannot sense it, then your eyes are the next best proxy.
Okay. Sylvia, are you awake yet?
Reese. I would say it without even having my thing on.
Restarting.
Okay, so I've been inside Sylvia for a little while. How about I take a look and see if I can make sense of it?
Go for it.
Yeah, please do. In the meantime, Clarion will scribble diagrams as best as she can understand what's going on. And then she looks around to see if there's any chicken wire or anything Faraday cage-like, just in case.
All right. You can give me a aware roll just to see if you can find something to turn into a Faraday cage nearby. You do actually have one in here. It's a small box you've used in the case of... I'm going to say that probably related to your own components, when they were acting erratically, you have put them away to make sure that errant signals could not come in and hack you from your old owner or anything like that.
Yep, 100%.
All right. So, Red, what do you attempt to do specifically?
Well, Red's gonna take a look, at least. We'll start with that.
Give me a brains roll as you look under the microscope and try to see what you see.
Oh, I also got a 2. I'm also gonna ace it.
That's a bad roll. That is an 11. The only thing you see when you look into this, you start seeing that flipping of patterns and everything. And since you speak to machines in your own way, your brain type pieces things together in a strange way. You see a cafe, and you see a small person sitting behind a desk wave to you. And then the scene fades to black as we go to our break, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Sparrows here tonight. We'll be back in about 10 minutes as we continue this adventure. Hope you are enjoying yourselves. Yeah, that's the gist of it. So thank you very much. See you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sparrows. Last time on it, we had eggs, we had restaurants, and we had mysterious gnomes. That all sounds like a great diners, drive-ins, and dives episode. There we go. But we're gonna move back from this point up to the main deck, where we see Cutlass out there, just steering away, his happy self, and he looks out on the distance. Scarborough nearby. Captain, I think I see something out there. Well, can we we got a telescope or something? Yeah. Head on over to B's station. I believe she's got one there on the front. All right. And he like zips over to the side, puts his head up to the little spyglass, basically. Is this some sort of casino or something? And the captain looks back at him. I don't know. I forgot to ask where B said we're going. Scarborough goes, oh, well, it's got some sort of neon lights kind of flashing all the time at us, and, what is an SHTF? I don't think it's the acronym I'm thinking of. Well, all hands on deck then. Sylvia, are you out there? Sylvia? You see the captain, like, lock the steering wheel in place and go walking downstairs. Comes in and wakes you up. Amos, time to get up. Sorry, short rest today.
Oh! Sound of Lesren dial-up. Okay, on deck.
Alright, come on up on deck. Comes over to the bunk and pulls off Leifei's headphone. Leifei, time to get up.
I'm awake, don't worry, Cap.
Alright, come on up to deck. We got the outpost showing up real quick. Walks into the room, wakes up, well, doesn't wake up Bicky. He doesn't need her at the moment. There's a bug in front of my face. Ah! Anyway, moves over and goes over to B's little space there. That's not look comfortable. Swords are not... We're gonna roll... Just get that out from underneath of you, at least. And he, like, pushes on your shoulder a little bit. B.
Captain?
It's time to wake up. That outpost you were talking about's up there, I think. Oh, where were we going again?
We're going to get sausages.
Oh, God. It's not Bezimini again.
Uh-huh.
Is that what it was called? Bezimini? Bezimini?
Bezimini, I think.
Bezimini, that was it, right. Last time we were there, we lost a lot of money.
Well, we're going with more money this time, so...
Scarborough
we'll be
said
better.
he thought he saw a casino or something. Do you know anything about... I mean, they weren't a casino last time we were there. It was just a... It was almost like a bed and breakfast.
Yeah. Except a really angry one. That didn't want you to eat all their sausages if you couldn't pay.
Well, come on upstairs. We'll go talk to everybody and we'll get this thing going.
Okay. Should I get Cullen's?
Yeah, get Collins too.
Okay.
Then you see him heading back out of there as we see B stepping up out of bed. Cullen's just kind of like drooling off the side of his cot onto the floor.
Ew. Cullen's, wake up!
Oh, yeah, not again.
We're
B.
Bezimini. We need to go get sausages.
Oh, Bezimini. That was before my time, but you always gave good recommendations for that place to stop at. Well, I've been... No offense to Bicky, but I think this whole new angle on cooking food is not going well, and I could use a good sausage.
She needs to get back to baking, really.
Yeah, that's kind of her
I don't know
forte.
what Red Iron told her, but...
I think he called her fat. Right? That's like the worst thing you can ever call someone who's worried about their appearance.
It's terrible.
Well,
Let's go get sausages.
yeah. All right. Let's do this thing then. Let's go. And you and him head upstairs. Amos moves out onto deck. Captain comes around the corner looking for Red Iron. Doesn't find him in engineering. Goes up to the medical. There, you two. We're there. We're gonna need you up on deck just to make sure if there's any sort of policy or procedure or whatever, they don't take us for pirates and accidentally don't let us on board, you know?
Amos
this
is already.
Oh, sorry.
Amos already has the binoculars in their hands, looking out over the deck at the place they're approaching, just scanning everything.
All right. What were you gonna say now, Red?
Does this interrupt like the moment of realization that Red Iron just had?
Yes.
Red Iron, without acknowledging Captain Cutlass, looks over at Clarion. We have a problem.
Yes,
Well-
Amos?
Yeah, we're at the outpost right now. What could be a worse problem than that?
Carrot's egg, sir. Something strange is going on inside it.
Oh, dragons, no. What now?
I would invite you to take a look, Cutlass, but you wouldn't understand. This is a Godbaby.
Excuse
what
me,
now?
Red Iron?
God, baby.
I had the opportunity to sit down at a cafe with the god of machines recently, and I found him very manipulative and may have told him off, and now he has manipulated Carrot's genetics to I think physically impose himself on the world, and that's an egg that he is making.
Clarion immediately takes the egg out of the incubator and shoves it inside the Faraday cage, locks it, and then does a poor woman's autoclave and takes out some strong like rubbing alcohol and pours it inside the petri dishes and then lights it on fire.
Oh yeah, Red is actually gonna like the third arm is gonna spin up and just blow up the microscope.
You hear?
Did you not just repair that?
You hear
You owe
It's
me a
okay.
new microscope, Red Iron.
Okay, I will get you one, but it was too late for that one. Also, she was a bit fresh.
Medical, what the hell just happened?
Oh, we just captured a god baby in a cage and blew up some things in here. Don't worry about it, Amos.
I'm
It's
worrying
Thursday.
about it now. One more time, just for those of us who are waking up. That egg is a god baby.
Oh, you're acting like this is the first time you ever heard of god babies. I mean, I fought a god of death at one point in my past. It's no big deal. This is just a baby one.
This is security. I repeat my question.
Yeah, the egg's full of a
Clarion.
god baby.
I have a cannon. Can we use it with the egg? Just fire it into the sun.
I'm not
End all our problems.
not entirely certain. I mean, we're gonna do a relatively close flyby. We're close to Zither anyways. You might want to get your SPF 1000 out.
Charming.
Everybody get on the deck. We got this outpost to deal with. We'll deal with the god baby later.
Sir, yes, sir. I am not sure if these countermeasures will be enough.
I mean, what else you want to do? We can launch it from the ship.
I do not. In case it is able to direct its own trajectory, I would prefer not to.
So we're gonna keep it then, you're saying?
Until we can definitively destroy it, yes.
Well, I'd say then that we'll just keep an eye on it and deal with it as necessary.
Who's going to tell Carrot this?
It's your job, Amos.
Affirmative, sir. Thank you kindly.
And Sanctum Cosplays has redeemed the players something useful, helpful, Robo Bees, please. That will come in at some point soon.
I'd just also like to go on record and say she also gave a plus. We have 2 +1s to Amos. The first one was from Last Coffee Bean at the start of the show.
All right.
And the second one was from Sanctum Cosplays. Thank you kindly. And again, thank you kindly.
All right. So on your next roll, you'll have a +1 or +2.
Red's gonna check on Sylvia. Sylvia, are you up yet?
Why do I keep doing that?
I have returned to operational conditions.
Outstanding. Could the gods of machines penetrate a Faraday cage?
What is a Faraday cage?
It is a construction of metal which usually has the effect of blocking radio frequency signals. However, I am not sure how this egg is being signaled, and it appears that the machinery inside is of the machine god's doing.
Albarian Safronta speaks with polarized neutrinos, not with radio waves.
Well, then we are, as they screwed.
Oh, you could have used our F-bomb there.
Could have.
I considered it.
All right, so Sylvia just says,
If this machine god is creating something aboard this ship, there's no way to know exactly what the intention is.
I think there's a pretty good way of knowing what the intention is.
You jump to assumptions, however.
Yes, I am jumping to an assumption. It's a pretty good one.
What
Please
is your
explain.
assumption?
The subjugation of all conscious life by bringing his form into reality.
Hmm.
Red Iron, you said you encountered him in a cafe?
Yes.
What did you speak
just
about?
The subjugation of all human life.
Did you say anything to him that might have inspired him?
No, that was his idea, but I did tell him I thought he was full of shit.
Indeed. I recommend,
Nice.
Captain, that we make our shore leave brief and fire this thing into the sun as soon as possible.
fire it into the sun. Gotcha. All
Sell
right.
stuff, buy
Amos.
sausages, fire into sun. Got it.
Exactly. Amos, we got your plan. Is going to be what we're going to try to carry out here soon.
What was that? I had my head in a cannon measuring the diameter.
Make sure that cannon fits an egg.
Clarion, measurements.
I rattle them off.
It should fit, but you're going to want something to encase the egg in so that it doesn't just fracture, splattering all on the inside of your cannon when fired.
How much lard do we still have?
No, not lard. I'll make a metal shell. It's all right.
No, don't make a metal shell. We're gonna need every little bit if this machine god comes back. And as much as I hate to admit it, we've got Sylvia who can help with all of this. I'm looking for, like,
A lead casing.
Now we're talking.
okay.
We can fire it from the thing I sent you on the asteroid for.
The catapult.
Little catapult.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
Maybe.
a good idea.
No. Let's use something with a bit more precision fire. Something that is purpose.
Oh, what do you mean?
To fling things.
I could probably modify the slingshot to be more precise.
There we go. I was going to ask for that. I wasn't going to say anything. I was a bit worried when I was firing you guys.
Make your catapult safer for accuracy reasons. You're not using it to fling weapons, but rather people.
One final question.
Details.
Go ahead, Amos.
Red Iron, final question for you. How fast can you rebuild heavy armor to combat effectiveness?
Probably a day or two.
Please factor in my help. It seems that Amos's armor is in dire need.
Oh, the two of us, we could probably knock it out in an afternoon.
It's on the bed hanging from what used to be a coat hanger, I think.
Question for you, do you consent to Sylvia's help?
Put her on the line.
I mean, she's a pirate now. Oh, do you know that? She's a pirate now.
She what?
Nice.
Of course she is. We're the best.
Hello, fellow crewmate Amos.
All right, normally there's a long-term normally there's an afternoon's worth of questions, but do you really want to prove yourself as a pirate to me, to this crew? Get that armor in combat shape, or better, then you have my vote for passing.
So in order to gain your favor, all I need to do is fix your armor, correct?
Do you know why?
Armor replaces substantially squishier objects upon the body that normally take damage from high velocity impacts, explosions, fire, damage, and the like.
And by acting in good faith, what does that promote?
Companionship, friendship, teamwork.
It can promote... Excuse me, starting my line from the top. It communicates a level of trust and amnesty towards another. I'm not going to put aside any malice from the past, but I'm definitely going to add against it with all the good times, if it makes any sense.
Of course. Before you can have any sort of communication relationship, there has to be the establishing handshake routine.
We'll shake hands once it's done. You have my word.
I was being metaphorical, of course. I have no hands, unless Red Iron would do me the favor.
No, that's fine.
Red Iron's arm just
Sylvia.
kind of comes up towards you like this.
I was being facetious, but eyes it for barbs.
There's no barbs
Any
on
sort
his
of
hand.
mechanical nonsense. Shakes.
Shake hands.
Our arrangement
It's
has been
worth noting there's a... Go ahead.
I will work on your armor now. My current modules are not capable of the manufacturing of leathers. However, I can break down subsequent other materials nearby. Do you mind if I take apart some of the bedding within the rooms?
No, I've got you. I have a kit. We can do this one together.
All right. Well, then we shall work together.
Let me make sure. Yeah, no, I totally have a maintenance. I have a leather cloth maintenance kit.
All right,
Yeah.
so you head downstairs, you grab a hold of your kit, you open up this big leather bag that's filled with needles and sewing bits and scraps of leather here and there, little metal rivets, things like that. And as you are getting ready to work, you see some of those little sandy bits that are Sylvia's workers kind of moving about the room with you. And you see a bunch of them just kind of pop out these little vibrating sections, and then you see them fly up next to you. They buzz over the materials.
Oh,
to
that's new.
assist.
I like that. All right, so here's the deal. There's some stuff that we can sew together, some stuff that we can patch, and some stuff that needs to get refabricated. You just handle the refabrication. I'll do the patchwork.
Excellent. I've heard much communication from Beatrix of things called bees, so I decided to study into this. They're an insectoid creature that works with a hive mind and tends to do a lot of work, one at a time and in strong fashion, similar to the ants I fashioned my original drones after. Unfortunately, they are not as mobile as bees. Bees can fly. I do not know why I didn't think of this before.
Probably because you hadn't seen a bee before.
That is true. I had to gain that information from your own mind.
Wait a sec. These are bee. We'll revisit this. We're gonna come back to this one. This put a pin in this, as they say. We should fix Amos's armor because I feel like he's got a trust problem with me too. So I need to also help.
Of course.
Go ahead and give me a repair roll on this. Brains. With Sylvia's assistance, you're at +7.
God.
That is still a 16, which I think, Amos, your armor's repair is... Repair target is a 14, so you're able to rebuild his armor relatively simply. Although you seem to fumble a bit, Sylvia picks up the slack. Maybe it was just slightly awkward. So you come back up to the deck carrying that full suit of Amos's armor to hand over.
That wasn't so bad. Do you want me to augment it next time?
I could use a Gorget. Maybe some additional pockets.
All right, we'll talk.
So we move over to B, and Leifei are standing closer to the front of the ship. B, you have been moved back over to navigation, where you're staring through the spyglass, looking at this outpost coming up on you, Bezimini. So as Bezimini comes into view, it's obvious that some changes have gone on there since you last saw it. There is a huge neon sign flashing from a ramshackle arm that's attached to the top of the outpost, which is like moving back and forth, almost waving people in. The SHTF welcomes you to our main offices, it says, in that bright neon print. And the outside of the building, of the outpost now, where previously it had just been kind of a dull gunmetal gray, little bits of copper and bronze here and there, now is a mosaic of painted-on news story clippings from all over the Aether sphere. It looks like someone took like a web blog of news and just splattered it all over the outside of this outpost.
It's so pretty, Leifei. It wasn't this bright last time.
Yeah, pretty beautiful. Do you know what the SHTF is?
I'm not sure, actually. Sausages? Heat?
Sausage house? Heat?
Ooh, sausage house. Sausage house? The famous? I don't know.
Maybe it's got like a comma we don't see yet.
That could be. That could be.
So as you are there, the radio crackles on as you get close enough to be reached out to by anybody on board the outpost. And whoever is watching from the side just kind of goes,
You there! You there, individuals aboard that ship that I see out there in the distance. You there, who are you?
Leifei, it's your job to answer.
Hey mate, we're visitors. Coming in.
Visitors coming in from what parts?
Oh man, where did we come from, B?
The asteroid belt most recently.
Yeah, asteroid belt. Nearby? No, not nearby. Pretty far away. A distant place.
Out amongst the asteroid belt, you say?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of living individuals out there, I see. So, what were you doing out there?
You know, having an adventure. That's how it is. You get a boat, want to go on adventures.
Now, you know, we're always on the wary for individuals of ill repute. We don't want types like that round these parts, you know.
Ill repute? Did any of them come in near now?
Well, we've had some of our own little scrapes and cuts and bruises here and there. And this outpost itself, you see, is quite small, but we do happen to have quite a few very large cannons if you are somebody that shouldn't be here.
Oh, no, you don't gotta worry about that. Don't need to load them. We're just travelers coming in.
Why don't you go ahead and give me a charming roll as you attempt to convince this individual that you're not harmful. Scarborough off on the deck goes,
Certainly.
Leifei, just let me know when to pull the triggers. You know what I'm saying, if we need it. That is a 20, however. So what do you say that finally gets them to be like, come on in?
I don't know what he wants from me.
You could tell him we heard about the sausages.
Well, we did know about the sausages. Hey, you guys still sell those sausages? We are looking to buy a lot.
Sausages, you say? Well, we do happen to have a rather delectable little food court here. You were here for food, is it?
Food and many other things.
Well,
Got
come
plenty of
on
money to
down
buy,
then.
too.
Tell you what, as long as you keep your firearms holstered and your gold or silver or whatever valuables that you happen to use in general terms available and at the ready, we will be here for you. Welcome yourself to the Society of Historic Truthful Facts. Come on down to our main offices where we can regale you with tales of the real truth of the Aethersphere and of things within and without. You'll be astounded by some of these stories, I swear.
I love stories.
The real truth. Now, I haven't heard of real truth in a while.
Oh,
Please.
yes, of course, the real truth is quite often hidden, but we can speak about that at a later time. If you wish, you can just come on down, find yourself a nice little dock there, stay a little bit to the left of the traveling merchant, and we'll go on from there.
You got it, mate.
You can
Mate?
call me Tuck Truthkeeper, at your service.
Tuck Truthkeeper. Good name, man. Good man.
Thank you, and what is your name, sir?
Leifei.
Leifei what?
Leifei. That's it.
Leifei, that's it. That's a strange surname, but I guess they come in all sizes, shapes, and forms.
Yeah.
Are you the captain of this here
So just
vessel?
the merchant. Oh no, we got a real cap. But you'll find him. You'll see him.
All right, make your way in, be gentle. Don't smash the docks. We just had them repainted.
Got it, mate.
And you make your way closer and closer to the SHTF home offices. And as you pull alongside, directly off to the dock nearby, there's only two at this outpost, very tiny outpost in general terms, is something that can only be described as a carriage airship with a large divan, like, across the front, with a rather impeccably dressed in fine silks and draped robes figure that's kind of standing there, just playing with his goatee as you all come in towards the dock. As you approach, he looks out to you. Looks like he'd been setting up his engine or something. Kind of waves you over. You there, everybody on board that ship. Nice to see a crew of individuals such as yourselves, of such variance, coming to this outpost. Fortuitous, indeed, I am aware. I am just a humble merchant, someone that can provide you a pittance of opportunity purchase if you're interested in anything while you're staying here at this rather strange establishment, if you ask me. You may call me Kailitos Megara. And this is my Kailitos M Market. And you see him like push some buttons on the front of it, and then the whole airship kind of rolls out until there's shelves of various things kind of around him. He's like, please, please, peruse as you will. Or not. I mean, it's on you. He kind of leans back and like shines some gemstones on a ring on his hand.
Your clothes are so pretty.
Why, thank you, young lady. I have a few different varieties of similar clothes down below if you'd like to take a look.
Leifei, do you think he has a poofy dress?
No, just maybe.
I heard a story about a poofy dress once. I want one.
Then we'll get you one.
So the captain looks over at everybody and goes, he said his name was Kailitos? Kailitos Megara. Do I know that name? It sounds familiar, but I'm not sure from where. Anybody else ever heard of this? I'd say probably Vagabond.
I use my bulwark ability, Selfish Paranoia, and I am going to figure out who this person is.
Okay, give me a brains roll as Amos immediately kind of takes the forefront position in front of whoever this individual is. Amos looking over him, you can tell, obviously a bit of a schemer, a bit of a schmoozer, someone who is more used car salesman than should be likely. At least that's what you get from the outward persona. There's something about him that's hidden from everybody else, something a little darker, a little more dangerous, something that bears a bit of similarity to all of you.
Can I use Impressive Presence, bulwark ability, to draw the line in the sand with this individual.
Give me a tough roll versus him. And what do you say as you attempt to do this?
Something catch your eye, Drifter.
Something catch my eye. Yeah. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half, 5, 6 individuals trying to hide their identities from these plebes. Tell me what you're really here for. Why do you find yourself in this area? Oh, I am a merchant. I'm a merchant far and wide. I've been to many places.
You are a merchant.
You remind me of a certain group of someone's. A little birdie told me about.
Little birdie? Which birdie would that be?
Oh, I don't know. Was it a blue jay?
Oh,
No.
oh, you do.
Maybe it was a sparrow.
So, you do know us, or don't you? No.
I'd say I probably know you a bit more than you know me. It's a real shame. I would have hoped my name might have gotten out there a little further.
And
Still,
what name would that be? Or are we still going with your cover?
this is not my cover, sir. I am Kailitos Megara.
Honored one. I prefer that title.
Honored one. You got some big muscle here, Captain. You must be Cutlass?
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm much worse.
This is getting strange. Look. What do you want from us? I mean, obviously you want our coin. But we've been through a lot recently. Egg gods. Whole bunch of machine things. Elves driving. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening recently, and I just don't have the time for any more off the top of my head. And Kailitos looks over to you and just goes, look, nothing more. Buy, sell. If you want it, I got it. Or, if you need it, I can get it. That's all there is to it.
Do you happen to have the means to produce a sufficient amount of energy to achieve true transmutation?
You want an alchemist stone?
Oh, go on.
Well, I know of maybe a few alchemists who can produce something like that, but they live well on Avalon. They are incredibly difficult to come by, to procure, to create. What exactly is it that you are looking to do with this power?
Actually, given the scope of this project, it seems like what I'm trying to do with it is rather, menial. Just take rusted metal and make it not garbage.
Oh, you had me going there for a second. I thought you meant you actually were going to do something worthwhile.
What could be more worthwhile than patching up grandfather?
Oh. Returning from the dead. Individuals of great authority and power who could have changed all of the Aether sphere, or, I don't know, making oneself independently wealthy with nothing but a finger snap. As most people say you can do with these alchemical things, or giving oneself immortality, or a host of other things. Repairing your ship is not one that I
No,
thought would be on the
grandfather
list.
is alive. He's fine.
Cutlass goes, ignore it, it's just his thing. Oh. So you speak to machines, do you?
They speak to me.
Well, in the case of speaking to machines, I have a question for you then. Well, rather, I have a machine that has a question of you.
Go
If you
for
can
it.
fix it for me, I will provide you a service in return. Or a sum of silver.
What service? How much silver?
Let's say 200 silver.
300. And you're going to tell us what that service is.
You don't even know what it is that I'm seeking to do, and you are yet asking me to increase my prices 50%.
We do have a good mechanic.
And actually, I have been recently made aware of a situation that would arouse me in suspicion to fixing random machines.
You can't just ask me to send in one of my best mechanics onto your ship, unbeknownst, without any sort of background about the problem, define vague terms, and probably skip out after us.
The problem
I
is
don't
I
even
have
know if
fragments of Great War technology I wish to have repaired. It would make it much easier for me to sell it if it worked. Okay, that is all.
So you're an arms dealer too.
Oh yes. You see him like flip a switch, and all of his stands and shelving and things flips over, and you see a whole bunch of old war tech, illegal equipment, inferno grenades, a bunch of hidden armor and side loading stuff, and an array of various very illegal drugs and paraphernalia all over his storefront now.
There we go. That's what I thought you were hiding. I see we have a flair for the non-conventional and the, how you say, vile, if you will.
Let's be completely honest with each other here, Mr. Blue Dragon Man, whatever you wish to call yourself. I am a dealer in information, in weaponry, and in supplies. And of course I dabble in spices and fine silks. But, I have yet to see any of you doing anything of value for me in return to see why I would continue to try to sell you these things, and I am having my patience begin to wear thin.
Good. Then my job is done.
When the
Cutlass?
poofy dress disappears, B loses all interest and wanders off.
B goes and wanders in towards the station, just heading up towards the outpost road.
Oh, good. B, help me with these supplies, please.
Of course, Clarion. Let's go.
And two of them go heading up the deck. So, what are you doing, Leifei? What are you doing, Red Iron?
Well, this man's an information merchant.
That he is.
So, Leifei desires information. Mate,
Yes.
you got any word on doors around here?
On doors. You said.
Monarchy? Oops.
Empire?
Empire.
Well, that depends on what information you're asking for, of course. What details do you wish to have about the Empire?
Oh, well, it's simple stuff about the location, simply. Seeing as you're here, and we're here, and you got that, and we got what we have. Do they come around here?
To this outpost? Not to
Yeah.
my knowledge. This place is abandoned by most. It happens to have this strange group of individuals here that seem to be selling nonsense.
Well, a lot of people sell nonsense.
True.
Sorry, mate. But they're not around at all.
Well, I didn't
Are you
say
sure about that?
now. But I do deal in information. I do not give it out for free.
Well, I could trade information for information.
Information for what? What value does
Information.
your information have? Exactly, but how am I supposed to know the value of your information without hearing some of it?
We were just on the extral end. Off in the comets of space, off in far away, where surprising amounts of people are showing up.
So you have information about some things near the edge
On the edge of the Aether
sphere.
sphere.
Give me a charming roll
No, I
to
just
see
want-
if you can convince him to trade this information that maybe what you have is worthy. if you do trade him something that turns out to be less than worthy, he could be upset with you or not be willing to trade as much with you in the future.
Only 12.
I'll take your information and 60 silver.
And 60 silver? You haven't even heard it yet, mate. Are you, mate, actually? Do you have more crew?
I do not need more crew.
Of course. Well, we were out on the edge of the sphere, of course. I had to show up there sometime. Adventuring along the ways and saw a strange occurrence.
Strange occurrence, you say?
Saw a strange occurrence. Yeah. For some reason, all the way out there, the dwarves were at. Mining for something. Not to start. Do you know why they'd be out here? You said... I believe you said you didn't know much about them being around here. But I've seen them.
They're seeking a few different things. There have been rumors that this area happens to have some artifacts left behind by the monarchy.
Wow.
Stone and a sword?
Woof. Anything else? Stone and swords, two small things for dwarves to be coming all the way out here for.
Well, there are rumors of facilities that did research. They were looking into Ethalium. They were looking into weaponizing
With an
it.
S.
Yes.
Facilities. I see. Well, I don't want to get busied with elf business. It's always a trouble.
Of course it is. There,
As well,
I will
you have
state
a business to run.
my information is that there is a soon-to-be poorly defended outpost nearby that belongs to the Empire. There's an arms shipment going through there, defense supplies that are going to be sent to Zither. I mean, the location of that could be worth some money.
Could be. Is it somebody that would like to buy from there? If perhaps they were selling all that.
Buy.
You know.
I mistook sparrows for pirates.
Captain. Lefe. How about a
Oh,
trade?
yes, mate. I like trades.
I'm actually very interested
about
in
you?
talking to your old world technology. How about a swap?
So you fix my technology and we trade that for information? Is that what I'm hearing?
If there's anything interesting, I wouldn't mind a piece, but yes.
Okay. Deal. Come over here and I'll show you what I'm looking at. And you see him reach back behind his countertop and come down the stairs with a box in hand.
I'll get to work on it. You can tell Lefe what's what.
I will wait until I know that what you are looking at, you're capable of repairing it all. I will also not like you to take that off of my ship.
Okay.
So you open the box, and the first thing that you see is fragments and pieces of metal, something that looks like a barrel. There's this large cylindrical compound of some kind, compound being it's like a drum of some kind that holds a series of little tiny dots in it. Give me a brains roll so you can try to identify some of the pieces here. And it's just going, I'm broken, I'm broken, I'm broken, 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 broken.
Boom!
That is a nat 20. Red Iron. Do we discover at this time that you happen to be someone who had maybe some sort of almost obsession with old world technology at one point and finds all of it fascinating, and maybe you stripped some and put it back together and collected it in your youth, that kind of thing? Or do you know how to fix this easier immediately? So it would give you bonuses on lore rolls.
Red
related to-
definitely knows, Red definitely knows a weird amount about old world technology. In fact, the scrapyard had some of it, and Red would like squirrel it away because he knew that the scrappers didn't respect it enough.
All right, I'll give you +2 to rolls regarding old world technology. And that's a permanent buff for you. All right, so you sit down and you begin working on this, and it's very obvious that from your deft movements and everything, you start putting it together. You recognize this as a early, I guess this would be monarchy calendar. So MC 786 cyclic cannon was referred to as an anifold Larry. They were hand-cranked guns. If anybody here has ever watched Last Alarm, it was the thing that Thud used. So you'd lift it up and you just twist it, and it would fire multiple times in a round. It had an elaborate venting system around a cyclical chamber that happened to hold all the ammunition that spiraled in towards the middle where it fired from the outside. The only problem was that these things were prone to, when they broke down, firing rounds in random directions all around them, which caused a bit of friendly fire on occasion. But they were devastating in the hands of someone strong enough to carry and use them. So you begin piecing that back together, and very quickly, snapping into place, taking a couple of... you need some scrap to fix it, obviously. You're going to need 15 scrap to fix it. What do you use?
Oh, hey, this is actually a really easy fix. It will take me a few minutes, but I need 15 scrap.
All right. You see him like reach into a box. There's a rattling noise as he shoves it towards you, filled with high-grade scrap.
I can
Please pocket
just
some
use my
extra.
own if we want to. Yeah. Red's like, okay.
You can see the
That's
glint in your
freaking
eyes as you're like almost drooling over this box of basically minted, brand new, fresh printed materials, parts, components, high quality stuff made of like the highest durability metals, some alloys in there that don't get on the regular market often. Red Iron's blown a gasket at this point.
Red's gonna go ahead and fix it with his own scrap, and then snag 15 of the high grade scrap.
All right, so you're gonna have to give me an agile roll to switch out this midstream, so the individual that's standing there doesn't watch you steal his very quality equipment.
Oh, I need a distraction.
Can I assist?
You can assist,
By talking to him.
absolutely. Thank you for the subscription, Dead Hand.
Ha! There we go. Now we're talking.
All right, so go ahead and how are you? Describe what your distraction looks like.
Lefa is incredibly interested by what he was talking about, and when he went over to this and explaining this other thing, Lefa's just like, but I want to know. So he's distracting him very earnestly in wanting to know about what he knows about this person. And he's essentially trying to talk him up and through this. He's trying to talk about why he knows these people are out here, why they are specifically beyond what he already knows.
All right, give me a charming roll as you attempt to talk him into a way that distracts enough that Red Iron can swipe some high quality
Woof.
scrap. That is a critical failure, Leifei.
I
Do
get
you wish
an ace
to?
per session, right?
You get 1 ace per session, yeah. All right,
Which
he's
is
gonna
it?
re-roll that. That is an 11. That doesn't give him any bonuses or negatives, so it's a break-even roll. All right, so the opponent, I'm gonna go ahead and roll now. Again here, awareness.
My arm can help, right?
Yes, you could use your arm to assist you in that.
Okay.
The opponent has a 14 to see you stealing his goods right now. There is an ace granted by Hay Doyle to Kai. To
Leifei.
Leifei.
Okay.
Take it.
All right. Here we go.
All right, you could re-roll that, Leifei. That's a critical failure, Leifei.
You're killing me.
Yeah, probably.
Can Amos do a little distraction?
Would you see? I think that Leifei is currently in this guy's face. There's not really a lot you could do to distract. You can try to assist,
Yeah.
but
Oh, I can definitely do something. I can definitely do something, and it's not good.
okay.
I would want to piss this guy off.
This is somebody who travels the stars completely alone with a carriage full of incredibly expensive equipment.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Now, remember, this is just on an assist. So, like...
With a critical failure on an assist, all that's going to mean is 1, you're at -5 to your roll, and 2, something bad is going to happen either to those around you or to Leifei himself.
This is rough.
Leifei, are you
Leifei,
taking
you
it?
got that virtue? This is your virtue applied? Are you
Is
stealing?
it courageous at all?
Give
don't
me
think it
give me a
is.
brains roll, and we'll see if anything comes of that.
I swear to God,
No,
Leifei, if you roll another one, I'm gonna just blow
Nope.
up this whole station.
Nope, courageous isn't going to work for you in this case because you don't really know who this person is.
Gotta take your ones.
All right, so is this going to be on yourself or on your allies?
I'll take it upon myself.
Okay. We'll describe what happens with that in just a second. As Red, you are at -5 to your agile roll to steal this. Your opponent did get a 14, so give us that roll with the -5.
Is my arm helping?
Yes, so you still do get the
To at least-
bonus. That would be plus
Okay,
2,
so
I believe.
Yeah, okay, so I'm this is basically a flat -5 on this. Oh no, I need a 19 or 20. Oh,
You got it, mate.
That is a 7.
perfect. Yes, I did it.
Amos, what was your nuclear option?
I think Amos is going to pick up one of the heavier rifles and start field stripping it. Literally taking out the assembly right in front of the guy. Knowing shopkeepers, they are going to be all over the big guy when they go towards the big weapons.
All right.
That's a threat to them.
So you walk over to grab a heavy firearm to start field stripping it. Red Iron, you grab into your own pouch, you grab your tools, you start working, you immediately bring out some of your own crappy scrap and proceed to get ready to swap it with this incredibly fresh, high-quality stuff as Leifei fumbles up at the front. This is what happens. So, there is a click and a whirring noise off to the side as you see multiple cannons lift up from the deck and twist and turn towards both Amos, towards right over Red's shoulder where it's like face height, and it begins spinning up, and you see light at the back of it as you notice a lightning cannon charging next to your head. You see the figure that's standing there suddenly bring up 2 arms that you didn't see before from under his coat, wielding weaponry, pointing them at both of you. And Leifei, there is a hand that grips your throat so tight you can't breathe. Roll tough or you will be knocked unconscious.
Tough, tough, tough.
Oof,
Rough,
you're
rough, rough.
dangling there by the throat as he lifts you up with one hand. Surprisingly strong for someone almost a foot shorter than you. As he lifts you off the ground, you notice that there is a matrix of lines across his hands you didn't see before, and you recognize that he is a combat automaton. A very high quality one, usually used for assassinations.
How's it going, mate?
I wouldn't
Is there any
recommend
problems?
that. You and your friends back up. A little slowly now. You see, you have broken my trust. I am here to sell you products not to be taken advantage of.
Yeah, mate.
This is your
Sorry.
one warning. And he looks you dead in the eyes, Red Iron. Leave my things alone. Don't touch my firearms, he says over to Amos, who's standing nearby with a cannon pointed at him.
Amos pulls a molar out of the assembly and tosses it aside. Fair enough. Loads everything back in and sets it on the wall delicately.
And what do you do, Red Iron?
I can just use my scrap. It's old world tech anyway. Also, this is surprisingly easy to fix.
Good. He steps forward and like slides the box back away from you, putting down.
Also,
Leifei.
your lightning cannon has the sniffles.
Yeah, sometimes it goes off on its own. I'm sorry if that happens to you or your friends.
It probably won't. It's just been complaining about it lately.
Right, right. Okay, then, if you will, continue this. I will overlook the little oversights that have occurred here before and we can continue with business, but I do have to admit to having been upset in a way that I'm going to have to increase your prices 25%.
That's probably not that big of a deal, actually.
And then Red's just like,
You put
Here's
the
your
whole
gun.
thing back together, putting it over
Yeah.
on the side. As he steps back, you see him like dust off his jacket. His arms just kind of down from below, and the cannons zip back into the deck again. So back to business then. Right. If you can give these coordinates to your navigator, and he like throws a piece of paper at you, Leifei.
Thanks up strangling me.
I believe that that will give you the location that you need and the dates of which they have a opportunity, okay? They're in changing of the guard situation during that period of time and will be the most undefended. Do with that as you will. If you wish to sell any of these procured products that you cannot likely trade on a regular open market, see me again. I will
We're going to
provide...
find our ways to having them.
I'll provide you with this. And he hands you a small device. This has a mechanism within it that is attached via time and space magic to a stone on my side. You can tap this to send me a message of where you are located, and I can meet you anywhere within the void as necessary. Just one of the perks of working with my shop.
A nice shop. Let's grab it up, pop it in his pocket.
Right. Now, if you would like to at least take a look at these wares before you damage anything else or I have to kill you, I will provide you with what I have available. And he opens up the market in full to all of you, so you can look at it and see if there's anything you can afford. Of course, Cutlass has not shared your earnings yet with you, since all of you have done all of this stuff recently. And he will provide you a stipend of the salary and of some of the spoils that you all had once you've decided what it is that you wish to sell. But in the meantime, we happen to see B and Clarion walking into the station, while Cutlass stood in the back with the other crewmates crossing their arms and just watching. He had his hand on his weapons, getting ready for a fight if necessary. So, which one of you goes into the station first? Is that going to be Clarion or B, or are you just marching forward?
Clarion's going first.
Okay.
She's got some of the stuff that we had set aside for selling, probably like the extra medical materials.
Medical materials in the vellum, and did you take that? No, I think Leifei still has that one sheet that he was going to think about selling.
Yeah. We've got the like 19 bags of stuff too.
Yep. There is quite a bit of supplies that all of you have taken with you so far. So, also there were a few extra firearms I don't think you necessarily needed. Were you going to keep those or not? I don't remember if your crew had addressed that.
I don't think we had decided. B is of the opinion that we can always use more guns.
Okay, so keep the firearms, the ammunition, but what about the Empire clothing? There was a couple of old Empire uniforms you also had.
Definitely sell those.
Those
They
could
are-
be sold to Kylidos. They're not going to be able to be sold on the outpost, though.
All right.
All right. So you have the stuff that can be sold to civilians as you go inside of the outpost, and the rest of the stuff will be sold out in front. So we see the two of you step inside, and the very first thing that you see is as you come in through the main doors, and you feel a little pop as your ears adjust to the new pressure, is a candelabra above head, which is in disrepair. A couple of light bulbs are out. There's a desk in front of you and a wall behind that. It's like a chamber where you walk in, and administrative is there. There's a secretary kind of sitting at the front desk. She's got very large glasses and like a bun on top of her head. Goblin of some kind who's sitting there waiting for anybody to come inside. And she's got all this paperwork she's doing, and she kind of stops for a second as you look up. Ah, two of you here for the tour?
No, we were in fact looking to exchange items for currency or resupply.
You're looking for trade rather than... Oh, you know what? It's been a while, though. I tell you what. We'll be more willing to trade with you better if you want to walk around and see the tour. I mean, it's only about 5 minutes.
It could be fun. Yeah, let's go on the tour. Come on, Clarion.
Yes, of course, Beatrix. And she pops Sheldon out of his dock and sets him to watch the goods.
So this lady behind the desk who has a tag that says Jenny on it looks over to you and goes, all right, excellent. If I can get the two of you just to sign your names right here, indicating that in the case of any kind of accidental harm, death, or dismemberment, that we are not going to be held liable for such things as you travel through this wonderful establishment of the SHTF.
Ooh, okay.
Also, anything that you see and hear inside of this institution is proprietary knowledge of the SHTF and shall not be infringed. You cannot state or try to resell any of these things as anything that you have created, and you are not allowed to talk about anything that you see within outside of it. Only here, okay?
Okay.
Understood.
Excellent. Now, if you'll just sit down, she raises her hand over to a couple of chairs to the side. When our tour guide Steve gets here later, he'll take you through the facility. She pushes a button on the counter. Steve, we got two of them. I'll be down in a little bit. Indigestion again there, Jenny. All right. If you could just have a seat, please, dear. It'll be just a few moments.
If your coworker has chronic indigestion, I could help with that.
Oh, that's okay. He won't let anybody touch him with a 10-foot pole.
She's
That
a
is
real good
unfortunate.
medic.
Still probably won't do a damn good. Unfortunately, Steve's kind of a fickle individual. Some people think he was programmed that way.
Programmed?
Oh, yes. He's top of the line tour guide automaton. But he has chronic indigestion.
Curious. I would like to get to know this Steve better.
You look kind of like somebody he might like to get to know, too.
Aww.
This is not in a romantic context.
I don't do
And neither was
automatons.
Sylvia and Red Iron, so...
Do automaton Steven do the romance thing? I didn't think that was a possibility.
I have not personally experienced the desire to pursue romance, but I would not rule it out.
Interesting. You learn new things every day. We switch back outside for a minute. Cutlass is busy selling things to this Kylitos individual. Sorry about the crew there. They're pirates. He's like, yes. Cutlass goes, anyway. So, how much you give me for these things, blah, blah, blah. And the two of them start negotiating for fundages for the two... Oh, nice roll, Cutlass. For some of the items that are out there. He divvies up some of that money and brings it back. So, I do want to give everybody the heads up in advance when it comes to monetary gain. Divvied between everybody in the party. Each one of you gets 300 silver. So you can do with that as you please after everything that is sold today on this episode.
That's a lot of sausage.
There's a lot of sausage. That's what she said. Oh, that was childish. So, at this point, before the tour begins, since we don't have enough time for that right now, we'll bring that in next episode. Was there anything else that we see from you all as you have finished making amends with Kylitos before the episode ends?
Actually, Red was going to make amends further and not even bother shopping. He was just going to sort of leave his cut with Cutlass or buy stuff with it like there, but it's like, actually, Mr. Kylitos, maybe you need more work done. I feel bad about trying to take your scrap. Maybe I could work it off.
Work it off, you say?
Yes, you have a lot of old world take. It's frankly quite miserable.
I tell you what. I have a project, but it is not here right now. When I go get it, I can make it very lucrative for you, and I will say that our past differences will be removed.
Just as a point of caution, it doesn't have to do with the god of machines, does it?
No, of course
You-
not. Just
You
still
have to tell me if
technology.
it's. You have to tell me if it's the god of machines or it's entrapment.
No, nothing like that. It's just entangled with still technology, that's all.
Yeah, that sounds like a party to me.
Excellent. Well, I have given your first mate a way to contact me, and I will use it in reverse to contact you when I have that need to be fulfilled.
All right.
Excellent.
End of conversation.
End of conversation, yes. All right, so as we see everybody kind of looking at this equipment, getting divvied out money, getting ready to go on a tour, tonight's episode comes to a close. Thank you all for watching Sparrows here on Roll for Chaos. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We're going to go around the table. We're going to say, hey, who are we? Where you can find more of us, and what you enjoyed about tonight's episode, just as a nice reminder to our co-stars here that we enjoy the way they behave. And we'll start at random, like usual. This time we're starting with... That is Benjamin. You're up now. Go right ahead.
I'm pretty sure I'm 50% of these. I'm pretty sure I'm at least 50% of these. Hey everybody, I'm Benjamin, TT Benjamin1 on Twitter. I am the host and dungeon master of the Lawful Great Adventures podcast, which if you are an avid listener of this show, you know I plug constantly. We are dangerously close to the end of our first campaign. The finale is going to be unbelievable. It might be explosive. It might be heartfelt. It might be philosophical. I don't know. Anyway, you've got 2 weeks to catch up. There's 66 episodes, so 33 episodes a week. You'll get there. I also play Jay Vervaljian on Shared Experiences, Ripples in the Gray Star Wars podcast. I'm the pilot in that show. It's a lot of fun. That one's on Tuesdays, Shared Experience Network. We're doing favorite moments, right?
Yeah, give us your favorite
My
moments
thing
from
is
another player.
Okay. The Godbaby reveal was really fun. That was very shocking to me. Just all of the Amos energy this session was quite wild. There was a few moments where I feel like the characters sort of like gelling and changing, and that's very fun for me. I like that a lot. So yeah.
So, those of you, he hadn't pointed it out yet, but bulwarks have selfless paranoias. It's what you was saying that ability earlier, where they become a bit paranoid about things that might happen to those that they protect. His is stranger danger, just so you know. So anytime you come across strangers, he will try to suss them out first, which is what happened tonight. We'll move on over to Gwen and Beatrix.
Hello. Thank you all for watching tonight. My name is Gwen, and normally you can find me over there in chat as a mod. But you can see me every Friday here and every Tuesday as part of the dynamic duo that is the new segment of Roll Charisma. Favorite moment of tonight. There were so many. I think it was Leifei getting a critical failure, re-rolling, getting a failure, and then re-rolling and getting another critical failure. That played out just beautifully.
Such is how it is.
Exactly, exactly.
It's like, maybe I shouldn't have taken that last ace. I ate way too many. That last piece of toast was too much. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
It's wafer thin.
It's wafer thin. All right, moving on over to Amos Jackal.
Hey folks, Mac Jackal Ranger. I go by Jackal. You all have convinced me to get back into streaming, so if I get back in time this evening at 8 p.m., I'm going to do a little bit of video gaming, maybe a little bit of shop cleaning. I don't know. Benjamin has somehow managed to convince me back into playing Remnant from the Ashes. You might see that.
Yo, let's roll that together sometime.
Oh, I'm breaking out my high level character. We are going through and we are rolling over Gorefist with a precedence. For those of you who don't know, Gorefist is a heavy melee boss that likes to spawn suicide bombers. Screw that guy.
Tough one.
Took me an hour and a half to beat him the first time.
Took me 6 days just last time. Shut up. Shut up.
What was your favorite part of tonight, Jackal?
The Godbaby. Realizing there's a Godbaby.
You like the Godbaby, huh?
No, I don't like the Godbaby. I don't want to shoot the Godbaby out of the cannon because it's a baby. I want to shoot the Godbaby out of the cannon because it's a Godbaby, and we've already got a sentient AI on board, and the crew hasn't helped the entire situation. It's quickly meshing with everything, and I'm pretty sure we are one bad day away from spiraling out into the void.
Probably at this point. All right, moving on over to Nora and Clarion Bell.
Hey, I'm Nora, also known as Azedidine in chat. You can find me on the Cornfields and Kobolds podcast, playing the ever sassy Quaylena Firetree, bard extraordinaire. We have gotten into some interesting stuff during our playthrough of Horde of the Dragon Queen, and I should do more streaming as well. I haven't streamed since like a month and a half ago, so maybe sometime soon, please remind me or poke me to do that. And my favorite bit was like the sort of Red Iron and Clarion interactions mediated by Sylvia, and just like, I'm really looking forward to when we sit down and have that tea. And you know, just getting to like tinker with Red Iron and like watch him remake the microscope and then frickin' laser it.
Everyone's getting like everyone's getting so much closer.
Yeah, it's very good.
All right then, Leifei. Kai.
Play Leifei. My name's Kai Roche. You can find me on Twitch at Mascane most of the time. Sometimes I've been out for a bit, but I'm streaming lately when I'm not out doing other things for a week. But my favorite moment during this, and I think it's been like dotted through, and I don't know if it's been dotted through the earlier episodes, but I feel like Carrot has been a character that's just sort of like out in the open. This is what Carrot is, and everybody assumes that's what Carrot is. But I think this episode really drew in a lot of Carrot isn't just, Carrot when you look at Carrot. Both Leifei getting their thoughts, Carrot also thinking about being a parent to this egg. Carrot's, I feel like Carrot's actually developing a lot, and it might not be incredibly noticed. Carrot's out here moving along.
Carrot with the character growth.
Ooh. Nah, there's no character growth with Carrot. You're imagining things.
Well,
there's only so many times we can break his little brain before inevitably something changes, so
Carrot is the real BBEG of Sparrows.
Eventually, Carrot is going to try to kill all of you, and you'll have to take him down.
Wait, who's messed with us the most of anybody? Dwarves, pirates, Carrot.
Carrot.
All right, moving on from that crazy line of thought over to Benjamin and Red Iron. You already went. We went in a circle. and I'm
Did I already
tired.
go? Oh God!
We're just gonna get caught in the loop.
We'll
and
just keep going.
introducing
Oh,
ourselves.
now you see, I am
now.
We're so far into good. We've entered
We've
bad.
entered bad again.
Hello, I am Sylvia. My favorite moment was 1001111110011111.
Of course. And of course, I am Ty, Not Even Star, over on Twitter, and lead dude, whatever thingy-majigger here at RFC. I'm also exhausted. So, forgive me. Hopefully you enjoyed this show, and if you did, of course, come on back. Monday we have the TMB's Power Hour now, which is a nice little bit of just crazy and news, which is a podcast over on Spotify. We've got the return of Roll Charisma this Tuesday, which is a talk show where you are the star, and we just try to learn more about you. We happen to have this game on Fridays, and we've got Dreams of Silver and Stone on Thursdays at 6 Pacific Standard Time instead of 5:30, which is what this show starts at. Yes. So if you've enjoyed yourself, please drop a follow, drop a like, come back, see all these wonderful, amazing people in the next game. And next week, we're gonna see what the SHTF is all about. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and we'll see you around. Stick around for a raid. I'll find somebody to send you over to say hello to.